I can't repeat it. I cannot repeat it. Good morning, everybody. Welcome.
Good morning, beautiful people. Yes, thanks, Brent. Good morning, beautiful people. It's Friday, the 25th of April. Welcome to TDA, the day after. Your favorite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by you guys, the culture. And of course, like we are every blessed day, we are hosted by the very best in the building and in the business. Brent, how you doing, man?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right, man. Can't complain. We're getting by.
Lovely. How was yesterday for you?
It was all right, man. It's busy and stuff, but
Okay.
every day is pretty much busy and stuff, isn't it? So, what can you do? How was your yesterday?
You know that the stream kind of cut.
It's at the very end, though, isn't it? Well, obviously the end is relative, isn't it? But yeah, what happened?
So you know how there's roadworks outside? Did you see the hole outside?
Yes.
So the house opposite, there's been stuff happening to the power and stuff in it. So they've dug up a hole at the front of her crib. And then yesterday they've now come to dig it one in front of ours, isn't it? And all the time you're hearing brrr, brrr. So I apologize for the noise. Only for the entire power to cut. Pow. And I've got outside and I've asked them, what are going on? They said, yeah, it should be like this for the next maybe 3 or 4 hours. So the stream itself on YouTube obviously would have stopped there and it would have buffered for a while, but it would have kind of locked off. But the eCam that normally records the broadcast, and then I take that broadcast and put it on Spotify. That was corrupted. Yeah, so if I am to put it on Spotify, I have to do one of two things. One, use my backup, but then I have to kind of post-process it a bit differently. It's a bit, it's not long, but it's long. And then upload it. Or I download the stream from YouTube, which is highly compressed, poor quality in my estimation, and then put it on Spotify. So, apologize for there not being a stream yesterday for the Spotify listeners. But on the weekend, God willing, I will get that uploaded. It was a good conversation with Fidelis.
Yes, it was, man.
Yeah, and I want the Spotify listeners to be able to take advantage of that.
100%. And our good brother Fidelis has to come back, man.
Yeah. He
has to come back.
Obviously, he has his mind is not just for the church.
Yeah, of course.
He's got thoughts on different things and whatnot. So that'll be good. It'll be easier for him to come back and the ting. Yeah. So I did tell him. So he's excited and that.
Dope.
Looking forward to the weekend.
Yeah, man.
It just dawned on me. There was something supposed to be happening on Saturday. Is it still happening?
Yeah.
What time is it?
It's around a certain time. You know what I mean? That makes sense.
Is not helpful for me because I have to
make sure that the man is not listening to me to try and you know what I'm saying.
Okay, but you tell me after, but I still need to structure my day. Innit?
Oh yeah, 100%. Of course.
Am I invited?
Of course. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
But you don't need an invite. You just turn up. That's it.
Is Moses gonna be there?
Yeah.
He said he would.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that'd be cool then.
100%.
Is he bringing his
everybody? yeah. Everyone's rolling.
Did you invite Strives?
Oh, I didn't. I didn't.
He's not really a friend, is he?
Of course he is. 100%.
I've never seen him at your functions.
Do you know why? Because
he's not really a friend.
No, that's not true. Yeah, of course he is. But this guy, you're talking too much about the information I don't want to be talking about.
No, don't elaborate.
Because the answer requires me to. That's right.
I've seen him more than you've probably seen him in the last few months, which is ridiculous. If you call him your friend, but he could be one of those friends where it is that you see them and you're like, it felt like yesterday.
To be fair, yeah. When did I see him? I saw him a few months ago.
At the Ned.
No, I didn't see him there. Did I see him there?
He came several times.
Several times. Oh, yes. No, but I seen him after that. All right, okay. Yeah.
So I've never really seen his character and his personality. And now he's recording a football podcast.
Yeah.
I'm able to basically glean a little. And he's a bit intense, isn't he? When it comes to football. Like he's really passionate about Arsenal.
Oh, 100%.
No, so much so that he will swing for somebody.
100%.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody so passionate like that. I mean, you can hear Margs get animated, but it's never to the point where you think that he's going to swing for somebody.
Yeah, but he's not going to.
Like he hates Arteta.
To be fair, I didn't know that, I didn't know that. Serious.
Like he really blames Arteta for his woes.
Nah, I'm gonna tell him to come on the show, man. We need to.
Yeah, about this.
We need to talk about this.
Yeah. Because he really blames Arteta.
So is he Wenger in?
And there's a guy. The podcast is called Podcast Pundit. It's quite a
Check
nice
it out,
panel,
people. 100%.
And there's a guy called, I think it's De La Strada. I like the name, right? De La Strada. Strada. And apparently he used to be an Arsenal fan, and then he stopped being an Arsenal fan and became a Newcastle fan.
Who does that?
This is what I've picked up so far, right?
Yeah.
And then now he's just a football fan, right?
Okay.
But recently, when Arsenal's winning, he comes in and with Arsenal tops, and it bits it up. So it's pissing him off because he's telling him, De La Strada's telling him, right? Nah. How could you be saying that kind of stuff? I could be talking like Recky or Sadio Mount about Arteta like that when Arteta's done so much. The Strada's like, what are you talking about my club like that? Why are you talking about my club like that? And then obviously Strives is happy that we beat Real Madrid, right?
Yes.
And he's happy that we're progressing in the Champions League and what. And he's like, he can see that he's happy. And every win, like he does some sort of gesture, like the last time, like he got a cigar and he put his sunglasses on and he's like, right? So De La Strada is saying, they're complaining about Arteta all the time. Look how much happiness he's bringing you now. So the Arteta thing is a complex, nuanced conversation, right? It's not as black and white as that, especially for Strive.
Yeah.
So when he simplifies it like that, he probably get pissed off. So, I'm like, wow, this is intense. This is intense. But that's to show you the power of football,
100%.
That's to show you the power of football.
100%. Hey, football brings people together in a crazy way as well.
And it tears them apart too.
That is a fact.
It tears them, because I'm sitting there thinking, he's probably thinking he wants to kick his throat in, right? He wants to kick his throat in. Because De La Strada also has like little jabs and whatnot. And you could see it's hitting, but he doesn't just take it.
Yeah.
He will like, he will address it. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's not going to let you get away.
No. So I found it quite refreshing seeing potential rage in a man.
Yeah. This guy.
It amplifies. Do you understand? It's crazy seeing it.
What? This guy.
But anyway, man,
Brent's a troublemaker.
shout out Strive, man.
100%. Big up Strive.
And long may he continue supporting Arsenal. And I really want, it'd be really nice for Arsenal to win the Champions League for him to kind of give Arteta a little bit more props. I don't know if he will still want him out after.
Probably not, though.
If that's the case, then De La Strada has a point.
No, but if at the moment he hasn't been doing what he's saying.
Who hasn't?
As in Arteta.
What do you mean? What is he been saying?
As in
that he hasn't been doing?
That's not good enough for Strives. Then obviously it's like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? But if he does eventually do what he wants Arteta to do, then why not?
No, that's not how it should work. You don't look to basically create a crucible of chaos for the man who's basically bringing you so much joy, right? Up until the point where he now gets it over the line with something that nobody ever thought he would possibly do, right? And you even said, he can't get us this, that, and next. He can never get us. Get him out, get him out, get him out. And for him to do it, they say, let's give him 5 more years. That is mental.
But the guy that wins you the trophy, surely you want him to help you defend it, right?
You see how you just simplified that? You see how you just simplified that?
Yeah.
Anyway, man. Anyway, shout out podcast pundits, people. Check it out, man. It's a sick football podcast. It really is. I like the host. They had Dougie from
Oh yeah, he came on the show.
Yeah. Because he's a proper Arsenal fan, and like, he sounds like a reasonable Arsenal fan. Like he. I wouldn't say he loves Arteta, but he proper likes him. Yeah, because he can see what he's done. Like, you know how I make a case for Arteta?
Yes.
That's how he makes a case for Arteta.
Yeah,
so probably I have confirmation bias.
Yeah.
Me saying he's reasonable because he has my same thoughts, right? But like he gets annoyed when his takes are heard because he's seen these takes on Arsenal fan TV with stupid talking heads saying dumb stuff. Do you understand? And he's like, it's not making sense.
Yeah.
And you're looking to just get him off, get him out. Who are you replacing him with? You understand? Yeah. And the entitlement, because he says Arsenal fans are so entitled to expect them to just start collecting trophies after years in the wilderness. Right? Years in the wilderness. Bonkers. But anyway, check out Podcast Pundits.
Yes,
it's a fantastic football platform. And long may it continue to grow, man. Anyway.
Yes, 100%.
I got any not P's and Q's, any admin?
Actually, big up Miss.
It's called housekeeping. That's the word I was looking for.
Big up Miss Prestige in the chat. She said that people are doing basically sending love and prayers to all the parents with children who are sitting GCSE exams. I didn't know they were doing the exams this early, you know.
Early?
Yeah.
Don't they normally do a little preliminary thing and then...
It's been such
and if it's good thing, they say yes. If it's not,
and they say take as you can keep those. That's true actually. So anyway, long story short, big up everybody who's doing their GCSE exams, man. You know, TDA, TMB, we appreciate the excellence as you guys have seen before. You know what I'm saying? Big up Nimi, big up Olivia.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're doing their thing, man. So hopefully there's more of you that listen to the show who are doing excellent things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
look at this.
Big up Metatastic.
We are a big club. That's how big club thinks. Nothing to do with entitlement. What are you saying? Like, what does that mean?
She's basically saying, why do you call it entitlement? It's just ambition. We should be, thinking, look, that's for us. We deserve
your
more.
lifetime.
Yeah.
When have you called Arsenal a big club? I'm not saying they aren't. When have you called them a big club? Cast your man back to when you used to watch football. Who brought them to the point where they could be called a big club?
The legendary Mr. Arsene Wenger.
Before that, 100% Graham did, right? But in your lifetime, Arsene Wenger, yes?
100%.
And then what happened in the latter years of Arsene Wenger's reign?
The white man came and disrupted
How
stuff.
many of those years constitute as latter?
2.
Too many.
No, just 2.
No, it wasn't just 2 years. What the hell are you talking about?
So you try to say we wasn't a big club, top 4 all the time. I mean, we hit
for 2 years.
What do you mean for 2 years?
Brother, we were dwelling in. Can we make Champions League? Can we not? Can we make top 4? Can we not? Can we make top 4?
Did we make it?
Anyway,
wait. One time I think we was 5th, right?
Anyway, so the idea that now that Arteta's in, we are just supposed to erase the latter years of Wenger and go back to the Invincibles and start winning Premier Leagues.
No, but are you just seeing big club in terms of position though, because Leicester won
I have
the
never
league.
not called us a big club. I'm talking about
So
the
you don't even see it.
entitlement.
You don't
I
even
see us as a big club, 100%.
Okay, cool.
But the entitlement of just winning
But it's entitlement.
leagues. I'm not
or
even talking
saying,
about FA Cups. I'm talking about winning leagues.
Yeah, it's happened for.
And that for me is the longest measure of your competency.
If you're consistently top 3, top 4, though, is it entitlement for like? Surely the club's aims and objective is this year the league. If you're always for the last 15 years top 4, you know what I'm saying? 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. You know what I'm saying? Is that entitlement?
Ask the question differently.
Why is it entitlement? If, for example, if, for example, you're competing with those who win the league and you're just losing out. You know what I mean? You're competing with those. Yeah.
In the latter years of Wenger, what were we competing with? Tell me what we were competing with.
Why you keep going to the latter years?
Because it's important, because that's what it's measured against. I just asked you to set the standard. Yeah. When you saw us as a big club, what years were they? Right?
It wasn't just the
latter
years.
It was Wenger years, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And when you say big, do you mean winning trophies or do you not mean winning trophies?
I mean winning trophies, but also being in the same conversation as some of the biggest clubs in Europe.
Okay, let's just say that's your standard, because I don't think that's Mertastic's standard.
Okay,
she is saying it's trophies based on what I've said and her response. It has to be trophies because what has Arteta been doing?
Yeah.
What has he been doing?
But we ain't won trophies.
That's why I said hers is trophies.
That's what I'm saying.
Yours isn't.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Of course, yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
So for me, we have been a big club and we have kind of dwindled. You know how we were talking about Christianity after and you kind of fall away a bit? And Arteta has now brought us back to that table where we're not just top 4ing joints.
Yeah.
We are challenging for the top honor. And I'm not talking about the Champions League. I'm not talking about FA Cup. I'm not talking about the Carling or League Cup. I'm talking about the Premier League. Do you understand? And we have been in the latter years of his reign. Right?
True indeed.
And this year, you can't ignore the calamity, 100% that happened in January, as opposed to, I mean, not opposed to, as in, when I'm saying calamity is them not recruiting what they need to recruit. You can't put that on mother effing Arteta. You can't. You just can't.
I mean, I agree with that part.
You just can't. So you ask the question, why is it entitlement?
Yes.
Because it's not a God-given right to basically just win the Premier League, especially seen as we don't have the requisite players needed to get it over the line.
If he did it with the players that you've got now.
Talk to me. If he won the Champions League with the players.
Okay, yeah.
This would be the maddest.
Mad as what?
The maddest accolade. She should wear a t-shirt saying this same thing. And he should have a picture of Stripes on it. Because when nobody, including Stripes, I'm not using Stripes in this particular negative light, right?
Yes.
But it's for the entertainment piece. When nobody expected him to make it this far in Champions League, given all of the calamity that befell us, all of it, he is here. And he's making us hopeful.
Yeah.
He's making us hopeful. With the players that he had at his disposal, he is making us hopeful. And that speaks to the structure. That speaks to the tactics. The long-term plan. I hate using this whole stage one thing. All that is bollocks. I hate that it's even being put into the zeitgeist because it's now used to lash him with. But anyway, how have I answered your question about why is entitlement the wrong?
Yeah. I get you.
Oh, no, the right thing to use for me. Yeah. It's just mad. It's just mad. Mad.
It makes sense. Hopefully, man, Arteta can do the job.
That would be nice, man. It would be nice for him just to get a breather, you know. And I think in hindsight, people will look back at what he has done and give him more credit if he does it. If he doesn't, and he gets slapped up by PSG in a mad way, it's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. Methinks. But anyway,
yes, we've got some stuff to talk about. But before we go on to the next stuff, if Arsenal win, do you see it as the same as the achievement of Leicester winning the league? If Arsenal win the Champions League,
ask the question differently.
So you know when Leicester won the
I heard what you said. It was English, but you said, "Is it the same as Leicester winning the league?" What do you mean?
That sort of accomplishment where it's like this team don't deserve, or this team, on paper, prior to the season, surely has no chance of accomplishing this. Is that how big of an achievement you see it?
Nobody would class Leicester as a big club like that.
Of course.
Right? So the feat that they achieved...
Okay, it was far bigger.
In their history, it will always be remembered. I'm not saying that if we win the Champions League, it wouldn't always be remembered. But I wouldn't expect Leicester to do what they did in the Champions League.
Okay.
And the same thing you're saying, why would they do what they did in the Premier League? Their team was crazy.
Because they won it, though.
No, they had a good team. They had
on paper?
really, really good team. Like a really, really good team.
It worked fantastic together, yeah. But on paper, prior to that season, would anyone have looked at that team and said,
don't talk prior, because let me sit with this a while. It's a good question you've asked. I don't think I found the right words to say it's the wrong sentiment. It's the wrong comparison.
To be fair, you got Metastic says if we win, that's a great achievement. But TC said Leicester is a far bigger win. Remember, they were 5,000 to 1 to win.
Yeah, I think I have an issue with you even comparing them. That's my issue. That's why I'm struggling to comprehend what you've asked me. It's like Saka did something fantastic. If immediately compared him to Mbappe and this, that, I said, why are you doing that? You're now taking something away from his achievement by comparing. For example, in the grand scheme of things, when the football historians look back, they're not going to basically say that Leicester's Premier League win is bigger than Arsenal's Champions League win, right?
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things. But that reduces what Leicester's done. They're two completely different competitions, right? It requires a longer, a more consistent product every single week from Leicester.
Yep.
But the Champions League is a Champions League. It's Champions League. If you place that same Leicester team in the Champions League, they may have gone kicked out time ago. The environment and all of the factors that culminated to Leicester winning that particular league had this team falling off, this team had an injury, and Leicester just kept going. Boom, 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 boom. That isn't seen when it is you're just saying, all right, cool, Leicester and this, that, and next. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get you.
So one can say, as that person said, 5,000 to 1. Cool, but other factors happened. Do you understand? And it didn't repeat itself. It didn't repeat itself.
I mean, everyone. It's funny, you know. Like the chat seems kind of split.
I think it's because it's a good question. It's a good question.
Interesting. All right, people. Anyway, we've got a lot to talk about today, and we've got a short amount of time to do it in. I did want to give you guys an update on the situation with Shannon Sharp. Yeah. So obviously, you guys know we had a show on Shannon Sharp maybe 2 days ago. And it's looking very bad for the guy, man. It's looking very bad for the guy. He basically, I should have had this to hand, but basically he came out with a statement basically saying he has chosen to step back from ESPN, right? People are saying, obviously, like, be real, man. Obviously, we know it's not you stepping back. It's you actually, what do you call it? Like being forced to step back by ESPN. Anyway, he's come back and said, not come back. But he pretty much said, I'm stepping back for a certain amount of time. just to deal with the situation. Thanks to my family, friends, and all that sort of stuff for standing by me, etc., etc., etc. So that's what's happening. But the main thing I wanted to talk about with regards to Shannon Sharp is the fact that apparently there was some leaked voice notes. You know Matt Barnes. So Matt Barnes, he's got a podcast with what's the other guy, the other gentleman's name? I can't remember. But anyway, everyone should know. Not everyone should know, but people know Matt Barnes, right? And apparently he sent a voice note. So when I first heard the news, I thought it was like he sent it into a group chat, innit? That's what it sounded like. Because I heard it first from Jason Whitlock. And
guy's messy, isn't he?
And he really talks about Jesus, man.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
He's confusing me. But anyway, but I hear where he's coming from, to be fair. And he was basically talking about how he was told by someone called Derek Thomas years ago, like, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago or so, yeah, about how Shaq and Shannon had a beef, innit? Why? Because Shaq was really, apparently this is what he's saying, if he casts his mind back 20 plus years, Shaq really was feeling this girl, innit? And Shannon came along and did his thing and took the girl from Shaq, right? That Shaq had an interest in. I don't understand why people are beefing over women. It's diabolical. Back then and even today, and will be tomorrow.
You don't think that men should beef over women?
What? For what?
So, we
don't want to. We don't want to dwell on that particular thing.
We're not dwelling.
No, only because we got loads to get through. But yeah, go. What you gonna say? Go on.
Shouldn't you protect the one you love? That's the question I'm asking, as opposed to following from the Shaq. And I don't know what that situation is, but the statement you made was, I don't know why men beef for women, but I can see why men protect.
I think that's different. Yeah, I hear what you're saying in that regard. But this was just a love interest of Shaq, or a like interest. Someone he thought was nice, and I don't know, maybe made his intentions known. I don't know what it was, right? Shannon comes in, does his thing, whatever. But this is what Whitlock is saying. Apparently the same guy, Derek Thomas, that was telling him, might have done a thing with the same girl too. If you ask me, they showed Shaq the type of girl that, you know what I'm saying? Be happy. That's my humble opinion. Anyway, since then, this man's had an issue with Shannon. So this comes back to the whole Matt Barnes voice note. He's now voice noted, again, via Jason Whitlock. It seemed like into a group chat. But further developments show, apparently, he was voice noting a particular girl, saying to this girl that, yo, Shaq is basically, my words, on the hunt for information about Shannon. Can you imagine? He's looking for information. He will pay for information. So if you do your Googles and your research, there's a bag for you. If you can get some good, solid information, Shaq's looking for it. Can you imagine? Diabolical. I lost respect for Shaq.
Do you respect 50?
What did 50 do that?
Is that where you've gone with it?
Because I like 50. I ain't gonna lie, I like 50.
What's the kind of stuff he would do, no?
Nah, man.
You think he doesn't hold grudges?
But you know, that's different. That's different.
What? How is it different? Like, is he not holding this grudge?
Yeah, but man, it just seems very, very dirty, and like men shouldn't be doing this stuff. Why are you paying for information? You want someone to go out there, start digging and researching to have information on a particular person.
You don't think that 50 would pay? 50 would,
he might do. He probably would reward someone. But to be fair, if somebody knows 50's beef for someone, they might say, yo, fifth, for the reward. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure if, again, I don't know these guys, innit? But it just sounded very disgusting to me.
How did Nas get his information for Ether?
I think that was just public knowledge, innit? That was public knowledge. Yeah, it was. To be fair, I don't think I heard anything on the track that
you didn't already know,
or that people didn't know. Because I was young them times, innit?
When you say people, because
as in
we
like
are talking about people right now.
As in like New York didn't know. You know what I mean? I think he just said it in a particular way. Yeah, that made it seem, you know what I mean? That made it seem like worse than it was. But yeah, essentially that's what's happening, innit? And so yeah, people are saying, look, you know, it's diabolical, man. You're just tearing down another black man. Why are you doing this sort of stuff? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, but in the document, there's a clip there from a good brother who had his own issues recently, Dr. Umar. And he put out a video, if you don't mind playing it, Brent. To basically he had a message for Shannon Sharp in it. So Brent's gonna play that now. But I just wanted to give you guys some updates on what's happening in these streets, man. Unfortunately, like it just seems as though a lot of people don't like Shannon. Whilst even getting this ready, Brent, it reminded me of I was just minding my business and I heard this YouTube video where this woman was basically saying she did some digging herself, and what she's come to realize is that Shannon, in the last, I can't remember how many years, to be honest with you, but in a certain amount of time, he basically had 24 lawsuits and he settled 23 of them.
Shannon
Sharp. Promise you, I heard it, I listened to it yesterday. Now, again, she put up a disclaimer in the beginning saying, you know what, some of the stuff might be, whatever, do what you will with the information. And I hate gossip and stuff like that, innit? But I don't know if that's going to be information that's now going to be coming out to the public, innit? So I just wanted to share it with you guys. You know what I mean? Because TDA, you know what I'm saying? We're just giving you the information, man. But yeah, Brent, can you play the clip, please, from Dr. Umar? He had a specific and special message for our good brother, Shannon Sharp.
Alrighty.
Shannon Sharp, I'm going to stand with you, my brother. Shannon Sharp, I'm going to stand with you, my brother, on one condition. I'm getting text messages from all over the African universe telling me that Shannon Sharp was accused of the unspeakable. I'm getting text messages telling me that Shannon Sharp was accused of the unspeakable. I'm going to stand with my uncle Shannon Sharp. I'm going to stand with my uncle Shannon Sharp. I'm going to stand with Uncle Shay Shay on one condition. Uncle Shay Shay, no more snow bunnies after this scandal. If you cannot promise me that you will never seek the company of another snow bunny, I cannot stand with you. Uncle Shay Shay. Uncle Shay Shay. I'm standing with you, Unc. I think it's a scam. I'm standing with you, Unc. I think it's a scam. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharp on this one. I'm standing with Uncle Shannon Sharp on this one. But Uncle Shay Shay, no more bunnies after this. Can somebody confirm if he's being accused by snow bunnies or Afro-Queens? Is Uncle Shannon being accused of snow bunnies or Afro-Queens? Who can confirm?
You know damn well.
Does anybody know the race of Uncle Shay Shay's accusers? Are they black or are they white? Are they black? Is this a rice bunny situation? Is this a snow bunny situation? Is this a sand bunny situation? Is this a salsa bunny situation? Shannon Sharp, I'm going to stand with you, my brother.
That's it.
Shannon Sharp, I'm going to stand.
So yeah, man, Dr. Umar made his thoughts clear, man. But yeah, I just want to give you guys some information on that. Life of Bodge says, I've worked at Christian women conferences. Them sisters ain't looking for Christian men. Any sub? What's the any sub, Brent? Brent's busy doing something.
Say it again?
You said, I've worked at Christian women conferences. Them sisters ain't looking for Christian men.
Oh, that was
Any
yesterday. Hold up. My bad. Forget about that. That was yesterday.
All right, cool. Last clip as well. Lord Jamar. Big up Lord Jamar. He talks quite slow in this, so I'm gonna cut it off like halfway in it. But this is just basically in response to DJ Vlad apologizing to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, innit? And this is, I guess these are his thoughts, man. So I just wanted to share it with you guys.
I'm not obligated to talk to you about what you said to me. Motherfucker, you're lucky if I send my representative. You're lucky if I send my representative. Like, do you really think that Minister Farrakhan, before you said that, even knew who the fuck you were? Regardless if you've hired FOI as your security in the past when you thought it was appropriate? Do you really think Farrakhan knew who you was? Do you think you are at the level of a Farrakhan? Do you think you're at the level of importance of a Farrakhan? Now, shout out to my brother Nuri Muhammad, who is a heavyweight in the Nation of Islam.
They got brother Nuri.
And who could have gave you some insight on the brother Farrakhan. But your delusion and your overly, sense of self-importance is what got in the way here.
All right, but you can end it there.
Now, it's funny.
So yeah, obviously that's Lord Jamal's take. Obviously he really don't like Vlad for obvious reasons, right? Basically, to be fair, it all stem from this, from him slandering, misquoting, taking out of context the words of the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan in a very demonic fashion, because we know it was done intentionally. And to be fair, he pretty much confessed that in his sit down with Willie D, when he said I was hanging around certain people and they pretty much was kind of pushing me in that sort of direction. They had an agenda. Before we move on, I just wanted to read what Rizza Islam said. Big up Rizza Islam. And he basically said, should Vlad be forgiven for lying on Minister Farrakhan? My answer, if it's sincere, let him show it in his actions. He needs to go on an apology tour, the same way his people do ours when we offend them, right? Words mean nothing. Let's see it in your actions. Also, that Sambo sellout, whom you were interviewing when you intentionally misquoted Minister Farrakhan and he became your choir boy, needs to apologize as well. I think he's referring to D.L. Hughley there, right? Listen, even if you don't believe him, listen. And if you see change, then you can embrace him. That's basically the words of Minister Farrakhan regarding forgiveness. So although Vlad, as is Rizza continuing here, so although Vlad has verbally given an apology, the evidence of that apology through his actions have yet to be seen. His words were given, now the actions have to match up with those words. So yeah, that's what we have. That's basically what do you call it? An update on basically the situation regarding the apology to the Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan, man. But yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. We're gonna get into the headlines, man. We're gonna get into the headlines. All right, people. So Reform UK, which has recruited more than 1,600 candidates for 1st of May's English council election, has made much of its efforts to professionalise the party after a series of racism scandals at last year's general election. Speaking at a campaign event in Dover on Thursday, Farage said that the party had put in place a vetting system that was as good as, if not better than, the other parties for this year's elections. The Reform UK leader said hundreds of people who applied to be candidates for the county council elections were rejected, often because of repeated use of words beginning with F and C on social media. He said others had been rejected because they just said things that were just ridiculous, outrageous, embarrassing. But Hope Not Hate, which is an anti-racism campaign group which has clashed with Farage in the past, said that examples it had found undermined his vetting claims, right? So they pretty much said that the posts seen by the BBC include a Reform UK candidate saying one big nuke bomb should be used to remove Islam from the world. Others promoting the conspiracy theory that Muslims are seeking to supplant the native population in the UK. Basically, there's a bunch of stuff that people are saying about Islam and Muslims in the UK, and some of these people are from Reform, as in actual candidates. Next headline, and the government is no longer ruling out a youth visa deal with the EU ahead of a summit next month to reset relations after Brexit. Labour has previously said it has no plans for such a scheme, which would make it easier for young people to study and work abroad. But an agreement has emerged as a key European demand in ongoing negotiations between the two sides to boost cooperation. Downing Street declined to repeat its previous opposition to reporters on Thursday, saying it would not provide a running commentary on talks. It comes as over 60 Labour MPs called on ministers to strike a new and bespoke youth visa scheme for UK and EU citizens aged under 30. In a letter to EU Relations Minister Nick Thomas-Symonds, they argued that a mutual deal for time-limited visas, subject to a cap, would extend new cultural, educational and economic opportunities to young people in the UK. And our last headline, a new group of Labour MPs want to pressure the government into a radical rethink of how to steer young men and boys away from the culture of toxic masculinity. Each of the 8 MPs at the meetings picks out different challenges facing young men and boys. So Sean Davies, who represents Telford in Shropshire, said, we have to get away from a political snobbery, which is to say that to talk about men's issues and boys' issues is somehow anti-women or anti-girls. It's absolutely not. Jonathan Brash, who's a former teacher and now Hartlepool MP, said, I've been looking at the exclusion rates in secondary school and they're going up and up and up. Why are young men no longer fitting into our education system? And then what happens when they're pushed out of it? Rachel Taylor's North Warwickshire constituency is a former mining area, and she believes a shift in the type of physical work men often do has had an impact. So she says, now they're working in massive logistics factories, all with AirPods in, or on a forklift truck, or operating robots, and they don't see anybody or talk to anybody all day long. The conversations about masculinity have been sparked in part by, as you guys know, the hit Netflix drama Adolescence, which tells the story of a 13-year-old boy accused of stabbing a female classmate. I'm going to read a few more headlines. Donald Trump says that Russia has made a pretty big concession to end the war by not taking all of Ukraine. Speaking to reporters in the Oval Office on Thursday, the US president said that Russia had made concessions by not taking the whole country, which is a notion pushed back by European leaders. Trump also insisted that he's putting a lot of pressure on Putin to end the war. He said that Putin wouldn't be talking right now. He's talking. We're putting a lot of pressure on Russia, and I think he wants to make a deal. On whether a deal will be made, Trump said, we're going to find out very soon. It takes 2 to tango, and you have to have Ukraine want to make a deal too. They're being hit very hard, and I do believe that they want to make a deal. But in addition to that, though, Trump basically said yesterday, there was some breaking news, that he was upset with Putin in what he did recently in Kiev, or what Russia did. So yeah, he said that. But apparently, like I just said there, the most recent news is, and this is live, by the way, Russia is ready to reach a deal on Ukraine as Trump's envoy is expected to hold talks with Putin. So hopefully, they're going to sort this nonsense out, man, and we can stop killing people. Well, not we. They can stop killing people. China has called on the US to cancel its sweeping tariffs on Chinese goods entering the country as a sign that the president, Donald Trump, is serious about resolving the trade war between the two countries. A Chinese official said that there had been no trade talks with the US, despite suggestions some otherwise from the Trump administration. The trade war, between the world's 2 largest economies has been escalating, with China sending back Boeing planes it ordered from the US in its latest retaliation over tariffs. But Trump has appeared to soften his stance on China, saying that the taxes he has so far imposed on China's imports would come down substantially, but it won't be zero. Trigger warning on this one, people. Trigger warning. A student has been killed and 3 others were injured in a stabbing at a private French school. A French private school. A 15-year-old boy, said to be a fellow pupil, was arrested in connection with the attack after being overpowered by teachers at the scene before officers arrived. The suspect reportedly entered the grounds of Notre Dame de Toutes Aides in Nantes, which is in Western France, armed with at least 1 knife at around 12:30 local time on Thursday, so yesterday. He then went to the 2nd floor of the high school where he attacked a teenage girl. She later died of her injuries. The suspect then went on down to the 1st floor where he attacked at least 3 other students before being overpowered. Oh man, it's diabolical. So long story short, guys, 2 knives, including a hunting knife, were reportedly recovered from the scene. Students at the school revealed that they had received an email from the suspect earlier in the day outlining unspecified grievances. Might as well do the rest of the headlines, isn't it? Next headline takes us to South Africa, man, where apparently, in a move as a last resort to prevent South Africa's coalition government from collapsing, the finance minister, Enoch Godongwana, has dropped a controversial value-added tax increase on Thursday. His decision comes as South Africa's second biggest party, the DA, the Democratic Alliance, threatened to leave the governing coalition over the VAT increase. The Democratic Alliance argued that the tax would hurt the country's financially weakest households the most. South Africa has been struggling economically in recent months, with the population facing rising living costs and an unemployment rate currently at 32%. Godongwana, his initial proposal for the tax hike would have seen VAT increase by 1 percentage point over 2 years. The measure was intended to contribute to refilling the state treasury and fund crucial sectors like education or health. This is what they always say, innit? Governments will always say they got use for your money. It never gets there though. But with the tax, which the ANC, the African National Congress, supported, the government would have made up 75 billion missing rands in its budget. Missing. And our last headline, representatives from the Congolese government and M23 AFC rebel groups have agreed on stopping the fighting in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. This is according to a statement released by the two parties on Wednesday night. While brutal fighting between the Congolese armed forces and the Rwandan-backed rebels has ravaged North and South Kivu provinces since January, and previous negotiations yielded few results, the announcement has been seen as a first positive towards ending the violence. Previous truces were, however, quickly violated, and the road towards durable peace, the conflict that has simmered for several years, decades in fact, is still long. But again, people are hoping that this is something that's positive and, you know, hopefully something that will stay intact for some time. But that's it, people, for the headlines. Let's get into our topic of the day. All right, people. So there's this clip that's been flowing around, yeah. And that's obviously going to be the subject of today's topic. We're going to talk about it for too long because we've got quite a few dilemmas to get through and we've got a big reaction to get through. But Brent, if you don't mind playing the clip, this will give you all the information you need to know, people. And while you're waiting for it to load up, people, like the video, share the video. We're on the road to 10K subscribers. Thank you. Almost 200 people in the chat. Only 60 likes. What's going on, people?
Knew that I was number one. I knew that I was number one, but I knew when I met him, he told me, you're my starter, but I got other ones on the bench, And what else would you tell me, baby?
That you're my point guard.
Yes, and that you love me.
But I like them.
Right. So I was in a relationship I was okay with that as long as I was first. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason for that. I want, the women to know out there. I didn't know Jesus. I didn't, know who I was. What'd you say, babe? I had no value.
So you had no value. You had no worth. You did not know who you were.
He said you didn't know your self-worth.
Right. And I'm 17.
Yeah,
I was a teenager. And I was preconditioned to think this way because my mother divorced my father for infidelity. And I'd always thought if you could just forgive him, our family would stay together.
Oh, that's deep.
So that was not a deal breaker for me. As long as I knew about it. Now, he knows if I found out about it, we'd have a problem.
But if he told you that.
Because I knew I wasn't his preference. My husband dated little Latina girls with long hair and big titties.
You got to remember, I'm from Arizona.
In fact, when he first met me, he's like, you're cute, but you're a little heavier than what I'm used to. And I go, what are you used to? He's like, I'm used to, $1.20, $1.25. I said, well, I'm almost $2. None of that. It was me and Jesus. And I had a radical heart shift from that moment. I got in my word, under my word. I just completely changed as a person. And I realized that God loves me, that God has a purpose and plan for my life, that God chose me, that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Yeah. So he would call me out my name. It wouldn't bother me because I allowed God's voice to be louder than his. And when I was going through transition of him, not coming home on the weekends, not being there, telling me I hate you, I'll never love you, I wish I never married you. Right. I knew that life and death is in the power of the tongue through the word of God. So I would say, you will love me one day. We will have a good marriage one day. And although he would go out for weekends, I would literally help help him get ready to go meet a side chick by ironing his clothes and getting him ready for the night. And these are all things I was graced to do. I would not encourage anybody to do that unless you are graced by God to do this. But once I knew who I was, I realized, oh, the enemy's after him. So I began to pray for him, not for my husband before, but as a slave.
When I met her, she was
Don't take much.
when I met her, she was 175.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm used to 125 too.
Yeah.
She 5'6", 175, and she was the wrong color.
Right.
I was used
That part.
So I'm like, man, my God, you messing up my whole flow because I'm going to a predominantly Hispanic and black school.
Right.
The enemy was after him.
Yeah, man, but they didn't succeed. You know what I'm saying? I think we have to start with the moral of the story, guys. Don't hate too much. Don't throw too many large stones. They're still together, man, and they've got a prospering marriage and family. But going back though, I do think it's important to mention though that she did say this was before she was being saved, isn't it, Brent? Right? So no?
I didn't say that.
I'm pretty sure she said that in the beginning.
She said she lent into Jesus.
She what?
She said she lent into Jesus then. Wait, sorry. I am misstepping. Is that what she said?
I thought that's what she said.
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear that the first time I listened to the clip, but when I listened to it now, I thought she said, "Oh, this is before I knew." Play for like the first 20 seconds. I think she said that.
Okay, let's see. Because is he not a pastor?
Yes.
So you're telling me that he married a woman that wasn't saved?
Maybe, or maybe they both weren't saved. I felt as though they were talking about time before they both, you know what I mean, were saved. But at the same time,
I knew that I was number one, but I knew when I met him, he told me, you're my starter, but I got other ones on the bench, And what else would you tell me, baby?
That you my point guard.
Yes, and that
lead the
you love
team,
me.
but I like them.
Right. So I was in a relationship I was okay with that as long as I was first. And there's a reason for that. I want, the women to know out there, I didn't know Jesus. I didn't, know who I was. Would you say, babe, I had no value?
No, you had no value. You had no worth. You did not know who you were.
He said you didn't know your self-worth.
Right.
Right.
And I'm 17.
Yeah, of
so
course.
I'm a teenager. And I was preconditioned to think this way because my mother divorced my father for infidelity. And I'd always thought if you could just forgive him, our family would stay together.
Oh, that's deep.
So that was not a deal breaker for me. As long as I knew about it. Now, he knows if I found out about it, we'd have a problem.
But if he told you that,
Because I knew.
So essentially they're young, got together young,
yeah.
and then they kind of grew with each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So he didn't know Jesus either?
That's what I'm thinking. That's why I think he was saying you messed up my whole flow. Like what I was used to in my school was just black and Hispanic girls, isn't it? But why was he saying she's the wrong color though? How does that mess up your flow? Like you're in this, like, you know what I mean? She's black, isn't it?
Maybe it's the weight and the stature. I don't know.
So yeah, I just wanted to
She was
mention
like
that.
$1 and I'm $2 or something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe it was the weight.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's how I just wanted to mention to people. Like, you know what I mean? I think now she would never advise it. In fact, she was even saying she wouldn't advise people to do this now. She just felt as though God gave her the grace and the time to do so.
So
But also,
God gave her the grace even though she wasn't a Christian?
yeah, I think she's just thinking retrospectively that
Okay.
like surely this must have been divine, especially when she thinks about where she is now. That I'm married to this man. We're happy. We're pastors. Do you know what I'm saying? We're helping families. We're blessing people with a message every week. So I hear what she's saying, man.
So what's the message that both of them are basically rubber stamping here?
I think people are seeing the negative in it, right? To me, I think they're basically saying,
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
personally, I don't know. I feel like it's just a clip in the overall story, which is to say, we were wayward at particular times, but if not for God, it wouldn't have worked out. You know what I'm saying? God can redeem the time lost. You know what I'm saying? You might have meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. That sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't advise anybody to do this. This just shows you where we came from. That's what I was somewhat taking from it. You know what I'm saying?
If she's ironing his clothes, they were living together.
Yeah.
So it's not at 17.
They probably, I don't know. Maybe she's condensed some time period together. But you never know. Like
In my head, they
her
would have
family-
been, or could have been married at that time.
maybe, but the way I don't know, the way she was talking, unless she was only talking about when they first met, innit? And when we first met, I don't know, but you're not meeting for the first 5 years to be friends. You know what I'm saying? You meet, and then, yeah.
How important is dating with intent? Theorize this.
No.
Man.
Sorry, no. Sorry, I was laughing because Black Rob said, "Iman, you're gonna do a topic on Muhammad Hijabi having side pieces."
What's
you know, Muhammad Hijab. He's that guy.
Oh, is that prolific guy online?
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy he's been on Jordan Peterson's. Sorry.
Yeah, I know who he is now.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. No, just for people who don't know.
Side pieces.
Yeah. So basically, recently, what's come out is that.
As in, he's been exposed for a couple of side pieces.
Yeah.
Is he? Sorry, I don't know much about.
Let me tell you about basically what's allowed and what. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yes.
So essentially, what's happening is now there's different schools of thought in it. So I'm not saying this is the case. I'm just saying what people are saying in terms of those who believe in this particular school of thought. Is that as long as you are married to a particular woman, then having relations with her, physical relations, having sex with her, is not a sin in the eyes of Allah, right? And obviously, a man is allowed to have up to 4 wives. So what some people are doing, this is obviously not an indictment on Islam, but on those maniacs out there, they go in having secret small weddings with these girls, sleeping with them, divorcing them, and moving on.
Okay, so I know about that.
Exactly. So that's basically what's
in
happening.
A very simple fashion, and I oh, how this podcast can just pluck memories out. All right, so maybe 6 years ago, right?
Yeah.
I was told that one. There's this clause. If it's you get married, bang, divorce the same day, right? It doesn't count.
Yeah.
Again, this is a Muslim girl telling me this. This is a practice that's been happening, right?
Mm.
2, that if you it doesn't count,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
That's the second one.
You know you can say that, innit? You can say that part because remember when we had Habib here.
Yeah.
Big up Habib as well, doing amazing work, by the way. Big up Habib. Definitely have to invite the good brother back. He mentioned that's one of the myths, isn't it? That some Muslim girls are actually doing those particular things. But of course it counts, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're saying it doesn't count because that's what they've heard. Basically Brent's saying if you're having relations, but
sex.
Exactly.
And also, how about mouth sex?
Yeah, some people are
so all that
subscribing
counts.
to that.
Is the Habib say all of it counts?
Yeah, because it's
How
still
about
sexual
hand
relations.
sex? All of it counts.
I think all of it. Everything that you
What,
see as
brush-
intimate between.
The bum brushes past the groin area.
No, that happens on Central Night.
All right, so
Yes.
I heard about this time ago. The whole not dine and dash, but dine and dash type thing. Like if it's done on the same day, quick bang 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 bash.
Yeah.
There's no indictment on you. But I didn't know that it was prolific like that.
I seen a clip of Muhammad. By the way, I don't know why people are like this, So I just need to adjust this quickly. Life of Budge. This guy.
He's a treasure for the community.
I'm telling you.
Treasure.
He said, I pick and choose. This is not pick and choose. Muhammad Hijab is not part of my community. I don't care about him at all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm only addressing it because Black Rob mentioned why am I not talking about him. I don't think I've said anything bad about Christianity with regards to this clip, though.
You haven't connected it. Yeah, you haven't started just yet. You're cooking.
I don't think I'm actually separating the two. That's why I said people remember. It's prior to them being saved, isn't it? But anyway, so some people subscribe to those things, isn't it? And so basically with Muhammad Hijab, I've seen a clip of him talking about how there's some people, that you would know, but when he's saying you would know, he's talking about to people who listen to Muslim defenders of the faith, right? That are known on YouTube, right? Who have so many secret wives, who have so many this, so many that. And he's saying he knows of one guy personally who has 20 different kids. Like he's saying 20 kids. So when he's saying this, he's talking about it and he's smiling, like, you know what I mean? And all that sort of stuff. And this is before this thing came out. Long story short, what's happened is this woman, she's got a child, she was divorced. And she's looked up to him, seeing him as like a proper Muslim scholar in the community. He's doing a lot of good work. He's known. He's got millions of like views on his YouTube and whatnot. And so she kind of confided in him, sort of thing. And I guess they developed a good relationship or whatever. And he wanted to marry her. So I believe he indeed did marry her. But the marriage, obviously in his head, was only one of physicality, innit? So he married her, I believe, but then he would only have relationships, meet up with her in hotels, etc., do what he's doing, and then bounce, innit? But she was thinking, even though your wife, your main wife, or your first wife doesn't know, I still expect her to be treated like a wife, because in Islam, this is not an issue. You can have up to 4 wives. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you get what I'm saying? So she just found herself, I guess, years later thinking, wait, what's happening with my life? You've just wasted my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with my child, believing that we'll have a good structure. You know what I mean? I had dreams and hopes and ambitions, and you've thrown it all in a bin. So this is what she's saying. And so she's come out to reveal text messages and all this sort of stuff about him. And so now people are going crazy. So what apparently happened was he came out to then say, this is all fake. It's all fake. This is all fake. Why are people saying that? Because, you know, on WhatsApp, you can have some feature where your messages delete every 24 hours or every 7 days or whatever it may be. You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
So basically, it's an automatic.
I believe you. I'm not.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there's an automatic feature. So obviously, when he's dialoguing with her,
do you use it?
No, I don't see the point. But a couple people that I chat to do use it, innit?
Oh, serious?
Yeah. I think they're just used to it. Huh?
You just see messages.
Yeah. Just be gone. But mine wouldn't be gone. So theirs would just be gone. You know what I'm saying?
Do you have to choose who this feature applies to?
I don't know. I think it's across the board, you know.
You want to believe that?
No, that's what I think
Make
it
you feel
is.
better.
But what? I don't care about none of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that's basically what was happening. So apparently, they're saying that he's saying.
How do you know all this stuff? Do you get? Is that
I don't even know why this crap even came to me. Huh?
Islam Digest. You get it in your email or something.
No, I don't know how, but basically a couple of YouTube videos. But I don't know why it came on my desk.
Yeah.
Because I don't care for Muhammad Hijab
and
those people there, innit?
I'm gonna Google it afterwards. I'm not Google it, YouTube it. Sounds interesting because I've come across him in it.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him of late, so maybe this is why.
Perhaps.
But he's a good champion for
Islam
politics.
100%. Yeah, he's had debates with countless people.
He's been on Piers Morgan as well.
Piers Morgan a few times talking about Hamas and the Israel conflict, and he's probably one of the most known people. Back in the day when he was younger and slimmer, he used to be at
Speaker's Corner.
Thank you, Speaker's Corner. So he's been doing this stuff for years, isn't it? So anyway, long story short, since you guys wanted to talk about this, that's basically what the situation is, isn't it? So I mentioned the whole deleting messages because they're saying that he denied it, saying it's all fake because on his end the messages are deleted, but she was screenshotting.
Yeah.
And I guess she had in mind to then bring this out, innit? Apparently she went to. There's another brother. He's got a squeaky voice like. People probably know who he is.
I know who he is.
There you go.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Anyway, him. Apparently she went to him because obviously they're boys, isn't it? So she's gone to him to be like, yo, your boy, he's doing me wrong, man. Like, you know what the Quran says is permissible and things of that nature, and I don't like what's going on. And she was like, okay. He was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna talk with him. I'm gonna advise you. Keep it to yourself. So it seemed as though, from what I heard, he was trying to do the right thing for her to get him to at least acknowledge her. And if this is gonna end in a good way, whatever it is, innit? But obviously, don't bring it out to the public. It's not our business, to be fair. Anyway, you know what I mean. So anyway, long story short, I think it didn't go anywhere. And I think she got frustrated in it. And so she thought, nah, enough is enough, innit? And so she went onto somebody else's platform on YouTube and they helped facilitate it coming to the people. And so now they're trying to, you
don't like stuff like this, do you?
Like what?
Like exposing people who are doing women dirty.
It's not about doing women. Oh my goodness. What?
Why have I got a penchant for doing stuff like this?
I have no idea. I
think it's because there's nobody else in this room but us. I have to provide entertainment. But I just wanted to get your temperature on that, innit? because
It's not a woman or man's face. It's just it's not my business. I don't care. Do you
if
get
it
what I'm
was
saying?
flipped around and the man was the one who was being done dirty,
Yeah, I don't want to know. Honestly,
and a woman is there out there looking to do another man dirty,
Yeah.
your fellow NOI brother, wouldn't you?
that would never happen in this.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, right?
Yeah.
But
We're civilized.
okay, I'm not taking anything that you say as gospel because what?
It's part
There's
of the
no way you can
teachings.
speak for the entire nation.
Listen, man, we're civilized. We're the part of 5%.
Oh my
You know what I'm saying? But that aside, I hear what you,
Crazy buzz.
I hear what you're saying. I still wouldn't want to know because I see all of that as just gossip. Innit? I don't like gossip. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not one of those.
So can I ask a question? When you say it as gossip, so you'd prefer the victim to continue to be
No.
So tell me.
So okay, so in that scenario, I like what she did to speak to his friend in it.
Yeah.
Because it seemed as though she was genuinely hurt. She really wanted some assistance. She felt hard done by it and all that sort of stuff, and she wanted to find some sort of real solution to the problem. But I think personally, she maybe should have consulted like her own personal imam or somebody, found a way to end their marriage, and then just mind their business. You know what I'm saying? Seek refuge in Allah and move on. Like, but that's just how I see it. You know, I'm not saying stay there and be a victim, but
Yeah, I want to ask a couple of other questions because I'm kind of curious as to if somebody isn't publicly reprimanded, there's a chance that they can repeat what they've done, right?
Yeah.
Do you believe in any circumstance that he should be publicly reprimanded? Or do you believe he just should be removed from society without him being exposed?
I probably would go with when you say remove from society, you just mean move from public facing activities sort of thing. Like say he was part of an organization.
Yeah, let's just
Like
say he's
that.
part of the nation and he's doing his madness.
This
right?
guy is not. He's an Asian guy. That's
I know he's not.
Yeah,
but
I just wanna
wanna
make that clear
it,
though,
I
innit?
want to make it relatable to you because that's
Okay,
the only
cool.
way I think you're going to understand
Okay,
what's
cool.
happening.
I hear you.
I was going to then use the example of let's switch it around. It's a white woman doing this to black men.
Yeah.
Would you want the white woman
Yeah.
publicly lambasted because
no.
you still would let her continue doing this stuff?
It's not about continuing. It's me saying it's not our business because as much as you think you're exposing this person, I still feel like there's embarrassment all around the board. You're still exposing yourself. So in this particular exchange, you've got people out there saying it's your fault too. You knew he had.
Stop. Let me switch the crime.
Cool.
Let's go to the thing that people always say, why you go that far? Right? Because I need to understand.
No, but that's different though, isn't it?
What,
And even
tell
no,
me
that's-
why it's different.
I think it's different because those are people who are innocent. Like they're innocent. Of it, Brent basically talking about like children involved, like maybe a Jimmy Savile sort of
If
situation.
one person is doing this thing,
Yeah.
right, and he has a public platform,
That's different. I think with kids, yeah, we have to. Because we have a duty to the children who can't protect themselves. You know what I'm saying? But I think when adults are doing things, you'd never know what the truth of a situation
Let's
is.
just talk about abuse.
Okay.
Physical abuse.
Okay.
Forget about the cheating, right? Physical abuse.
Okay.
And this person is going from one to one, beating up this, that, and the next, and then silencing them, this, that.
That's diabolical.
Do you want them to be publicly shamed? So the
Do you know
world
what it
can
is?
know
Do you know what it
this
is?
person is this, that, and the next.
Do you know what it is? I don't see. I'm not one of those people who feel like public shaming is one of those. Yeah, because no one is perfect.
But
So
that's
my
why
thing is
I went to the kid stuff. Because that's when you would say, yep, publicly shame that person.
Yeah, because I think for kids, to me, I feel like that's a bit. I just see that as different. Those are innocent beings, young, and yeah, it's just different for me. It's just
How
different
about
for me.
abuse?
With adults? I think it's different.
Physical abuse with adults.
I think if it's prolific, if it's like you said, it's ongoing, like just like you're saying, beat up women or beat up men, move on. Beat up women, beat up men, move on. And it's crazy like that, then I understand it. But I still feel like the best course of action is go to the authorities. If it comes out in the media, okay, fine. But I just don't like.
So
them.
you
I don't
do
like that,
you
that
do
sort of stuff.
agree with the quote unquote gossip, but it needs to be put through to the police.
Yeah, if it's a crime, go to the police, 100%. Because I feel like
right. I'm talking about the gossip stuff because the initial example is not really a crime, right?
Which one? Oh, with Muhammad.
Yeah. So that's why you said go to the imam. If the imam decides to basically make it public because he's a member of the bloody mosque, and he is going about doing this to the sisters,
then I think he should make it public to the people in the mosque.
Yeah.
If that's what you mean, then okay.
When you say public to the people in the mosque, let's just say the mosque is live streamed. It's a broadcast.
I hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying, but I don't know because I feel like I could just tune into that live stream, and it's none of my business. I don't know this information. I don't know how to process the information. I don't know anything about it.
The nature of him being a public figure, it's always going to basically bleed into the public sphere, right? I'm trying to ascertain whether it is that you agree with that being just desserts, as in justice served, or if it is that you don't like when it bleeds into the public sphere, even though it hasn't been done via some gossiper like Jason Whitlock or whatever. If it finds its way there, because the nature of him being a public figure, and you be going left to right, being a hypocrite left, right, and center, right? Suppose he bucks one of his ops, and one of his ops hears that this and he drops it in one of their speaker corner back and forth.
Yeah.
Would you be that's low, man, that's gossip, man?
Are we talking about the same thing with Muhammad Hijab?
The same
I think I probably would, because it's nothing to do with what we're debating.
Fair. I mean, I just wanted to know where you stood, but now I understand.
I just don't like that sort of stuff, man. Especially when it's just not necessary to me. That's how I see it. But anyway, we'll talk about this other video. But yeah, thank you, Black Rob, for mentioning Muhammad Hijab. But yeah, that's the situation with that for those who are interested. I'm trying to remember the name of the other guy. There's a click of them, innit? But yeah, the other guy that basically the woman went to, I'm trying to remember. But yeah, people, I'm pretty sure you guys would know.
Mommy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He's got like... Anyway, I can't remember his name. It really doesn't matter. He's not part of our community. If you're a Muslim and you believe or like their commentary, their takes, then good on you. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because they do try and...
You say our community, you talking about?
Huh? He ain't black. They ain't black people.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so I don't care about what they do.
Yeah.
In the slightest. You know what I mean? But yeah. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Yeah, man.
Nasty words used, him telling her all that kind of stuff. Yeah. No value in this and
that's terrible.
Her ironing his clothes for him to go and sleep with other women and this and next. Him saying, "Yep, I love you, but I like them."
One could say that he was being honest though, but I think what he was saying to her was demoralizing. You know what I mean? And really would have messed up her self-worth. But I think he was also, especially because they're far past it, I think this is why he can be so blunt talking to us. You know what I'm saying? Because he loves this woman. This is the mother of his kids. I'm assuming they got kids. I don't know them prior to this. And that's why he can say, I said this to you. I thought this about you. Even you know for yourself you had no value. Because why would you accept this foolishness from me? You know what I'm saying? So I think this is why he can speak so flippantly about this. So I think people are maybe taking that out of context, innit? It's probably 30 years ago. I'm assuming, right? But yeah, it really speaks to...
She said that she got under Jesus and Jesus kind of gave her the strength to persist.
Yeah.
That isn't a message. That's not a Jesus message.
I don't think... You see, I don't know. When I hear things like that, I don't take that as a negative. I really don't. I just see it as somebody who's gone through some bad things. They made bad decisions, but God redeemed the time and brought something good from it. That's how I see it. I don't see it as a bad... Huh?
But it couldn't be you.
Of course not. But at the same time, but if it was though, and I made it out the other end, I would see it as, you know what? I was insane, but God made something good come from this. Do you get what I'm saying? In the moment, it's insane. Do you get what I'm saying? But I don't think she's saying to people...
So the message that you're putting out, possibly,
yeah,
that the good that came from this, just take the good, because God gave her the strength and the grace to persist, to see the beautiful garden that was in store for her, right? The love that now abounds after the husband, this and next. You wouldn't receive that message for yourself.
I don't even think she was even receiving that message, to be honest with you.
Of course she wasn't. But it wasn't from God.
You know what I'm saying? I don't think she was receiving that message. I just think that in the bad situation became a good one when they both got saved. And she's seeing.
I love how you're doing this.
No,
You're filling in the gaps in it. You're basically saying that both of them weren't saved at the time. And when they were saved, then he changed his behavior.
No, but he was saying the way he's talking. I don't think he was saying.
It's so cavalier in it.
Yeah, because you're saying, you know what, I've got loads in it. Like I love you, but I like them. Like all of that sort of stuff. It doesn't sound like he was the guy, a youth pastor, when he's rolled to being the pastor of his own church. Not much about
pastor. I'm just talking about being saved.
Yeah. I don't think any of that stuff.
Yeah, because no way that guys in the church will ever say stuff like that.
What you saying they do?
I'm telling you, the church is a place, you know.
No, but I don't think that will happen though. That is insane for me to even say that, to be fair.
I mean, if it is, you're seeing pastors looking to slap up, you know, deacons' wives and that, because it does happen.
That definitely does.
It does happen.
That happens,
boy. Yeah. But anyway, it's a very easy open and close case here.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
think we need further
analysis. Oh, quick question though, Ben.
Yep.
TC says, do you have to be saved to receive messages from God though?
No.
Exactly. Yeah, I'll take no as well. Especially if you're seeing it as saved as in via Christ, innit? You know what I'm saying? I don't think you need to. I think God gives messages to people who don't know Jesus, never heard of Jesus. You know what I mean? So that's just my personal opinion though. But yeah, like Brent said, man, we can move on. We got some asking for friends, guys.
All right. Yeah, good question from T. Why was this even relevant for them to share as pastors? It's a good point, because to some, the message would be persevere.
Yeah,
you know, heaven's just on the other side. You know, withstand all of that abuse you're going through.
Yeah,
the self-deprecating commentary from your husband or your partner. Just hold on. That could be what it could come across as, just by the clip. I don't know the full conversation. I hadn't watched this.
And I think that's important to know, man. I feel like, remember, this is only 2.5 minutes, isn't it? From probably a 1.5 hour interview. I think they were maybe just talking about how destructive they were in the beginning.
But we did do the same thing with Pastor Anthony.
I'm glad you mentioned it. I was just about to say that to you.
Because you did, was suggested, because it could have been me.
Okay.
Was suggested. Doesn't matter if there's a longer part of this.
Yeah.
This part.
Yeah. Personally, I don't think we took him out of context. I should have also updated us. He did come out to apologize.
No, we updated.
Oh, we did?
It was updated. Yeah, he
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, he apologized, man.
Yeah, I think
he knew he was doing the devil's work. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. I know a lot of you guys were there ready to forgive. White Robert, our good brother Joshua as well. We're talking about
they were
forgiveness.
proper writing that stupid message in it.
But that's the same message.
Stupid message. But that's and then he changed his position. And then they went, listen, I ain't seen Nebula since.
Go on. He's gone into the Nebula sphere. Come back. We forgive you.
I forgive for that nonsense. Only for him to change his position.
Imagine.
Hey, a minute. I'm sorry, I was trying.
Diabolical.
I was trying on my bum. Oh boy.
Terrible.
Oh man.
With that logic, surely you would then advise this woman to forgive her husband, right? Surely. Because she ain't dead. You know what I'm saying?
Ground, you know. Shaky ground. Going to a war off the back of that, you know.
People just
only
talk,
for him the next day say, yeah, I didn't mean it. Standing there with your dick in your hand. I've always wanted to say that. All right.
Yes. All right, people. Asking for a friend. We're going to try and get through these ASAPly, but still give the people what they need to know. So the first one is from a woman who's 29. And she said, it's not a serious one, but how do you get over age gaps? There's this guy that I fancy, but he's really younger than me. He's 21, I'm 29. Ben, what are you thinking, man? I'll go to you first with this one. Obviously, we don't want to equate this to the Shannon Sharp situation. That age gap is very, very big. I don't think that could be covered up. But I'll be honest with you. What do you want him for? What do you want him for? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to project my views onto you, innit? You know what I'm saying? But what do you want him for? Because, yeah, why are you 29? I'm restraining my my biases. But yeah, why are you 29 wanting a 21-year-old? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm assuming he don't look like a 21-year-old, but you just know he's 21 and you feel some sort of way. But do you really like him? Do you feel like this could blossom into something? Is he a mature sort of guy? You know what I'm saying? Do you think you can get yourself married to this guy when you're 34 and he's 25? You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the age gap will be. Or is it just for fun? If it's just for fun, does it really matter, the age gap? I don't think so. Because he's 21, isn't it? And you're 29. And both of you enjoying each other. So, but if it's a serious one, I'll be real with you, man. I'll be telling you to fix up. Because, come on now. But Brent, yeah, what's your thoughts?
Leave it.
Yeah.
If it is that you don't want to leave it, move to a different country. Don't show people until it is you guys are older. But leave it. Leave it. What are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
What are y'all talking about?
But that's it. They might not be talking that much, innit? It's more sort of physicalities.
So it's just sex.
It might be. But at the same time, she's saying
a lot of stuff, you know.
100%. But she's saying, I fancy this guy. So it might be a bit more. I don't know.
Fancy.
Yeah.
It's such
Or am I reading into that too much?
No, but fancy is like you see somebody, you like them, as in like what they look like, innit? And they might be funny and whatnot.
True.
But you guys have different responsibilities, different stages in your life. He's still going uni, right?
Yeah, or just finished. And you're 29. This is what I was trying to. All right, put it this way: if you was my sister,
to be honest, if it's 10 years, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's different.
If she's 39 and he's 31,
you're in the same kind of stage.
True indeed.
You know.
Mm-hmm. And at that age, you would have known what you want and don't want from life, innit? And if you see that in him as a 31-year-old, you're like, fine. But at 29, I'm assuming you want a family, you want kids, innit? He's 21. It's unlikely, it's not a given, but it's unlikely that he's looking to settle right now, innit? So
at 21-year-old women, they seem as 21-year-old men.
Say again?
At 21-year-old women, they seem as 21-year-old men.
I don't know. It depends on the individual, man. It's hard to say.
Do I know any 21-year-old
women?
I don't think I do.
I don't know any 21-year-olds. Don't think so.
Are there any in the chat? What? Men who are 21, are the girls the same? Are the women the same?
To be fair, the Cambridge lot, they're 21. Yeah.
They're children.
You know what I'm saying? They just started uni. Yeah, that's 21. So they might be 22 now, though. But, yeah.
Oh, name somebody else who's 29 that came here so I could see the difference.
That's a good exercise. Let me think.
Because they're brand spanking new.
Yeah.
They're still babes.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying to you. I feel like he might be more mature. He might be a gym goer. He might have been going since he was 16. You know what I mean?
Gym goer? You mean physically?
Yeah, exactly. That he doesn't look like a 21-year-old who's still trying to grow a beard sort of thing. He might look more thingy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. But
something in the water.
Yeah, but honestly, like
I ain't drinking
it. For real. All right, hopefully we helped with that, man. Next one is from a gentleman who's 31, man. He said, my wife cheated on me. She had an affair for 6 months and I caught them doing the do on Christmas Eve. I genuinely hate her and want nothing to do with her, and I'm in the process of getting a divorce. The problem is, now she's pregnant and she's claiming the baby is mine. I'm conflicted because I don't know if she's lying, and even if she's telling the truth, I feel a bit iffy about raising a child with her, especially after I can't stand her. What should I do?
What can you do?
That's true, man.
Continue the divorce. I hope you're not suggesting that you should get back together. You hate it.
But it can work for the hate, right?
Because of the Kelley and the...
No, they had the grace. It's a, it's a bit different.
God damn it.
I mean, yeah, because I will never tell. Let me not say I'll never tell, but I don't like to say people should leave people in it. You know what I'm saying? Or get divorced and things of that nature. You just never know, man. Like, in the grand scheme of things, when you're 80, 90, 100 years old and you're together, chilling, this blip that happened when you was 30 years old, you might think, like, you was an animal for that, but you still gave me 60 years of happiness. You know what I'm saying? You might think that. So who am I to try and condense all that time into a time period and say, yeah, react on this? You know what I'm saying? It's diabolical, though. I don't want to call your wife an animal.
Would you stay?
Who, me?
But 60 years, man, you know, it's a blip.
Joke thing. 60 years with other things, big boy. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? But I'm different. You know what I'm saying? And everyone else is different. And yeah, man, it's a shame though. Have you got other kids though? This is the thing. If you got other children, I feel like he doesn't. Otherwise he would have mentioned that. This might be their firstborn. But I'll be real with you. The baby thing ain't gonna change nothing. Especially as you don't know if it's yours. She's saying it's yours, but women say things. You know what I'm saying? We already know 30+% of men are raising children that's not theirs. 30%. That's insane. So I would advise you, if she wants to keep the baby, yeah, wait and get the DNA test. I wouldn't be trying to be attached to a baby that might not be mine. No chance. But yeah, I feel for you.
It's not a
man.
dilemma.
No?
How is it a dilemma? How is it a dilemma? Don't stay with her. You hate her, right? Get the divorce, finish it. If the baby's yours, find out, cool, and then take care of your responsibilities. You don't have to like her to be co-parenting.
Yeah, it's true. that is
What's
true.
the dilemma?
Is he maybe saying, should I suggest an abortion? Because that would be a clean cut. You divorce, no
Is that
baby,
the
gone.
thing?
I
Because
don't know, maybe.
It wasn't stipulated in the...
Maybe he wanted us to put that there. innit? I don't know.
What
I
do
don't know.
you think he should...
Get rid of the baby?
No, he should suggest to her that she does.
I mean, no, I would never say that's a life. I'm not one of those.
I don't see her going along with it.
No chance. She's trying to get you back. You know what I mean? She's trying to get you back so she can continue with the other guy. Yeah, maniac. And even if, she don't know whose baby that is. Yeah, Jenna just said if Black Rob and Josh can forgive murderous racist cops, you can therefore forgive a small cheater. To be fair.
Stay on his neck. He's trying to pretend that he never said what he said.
Oh,
You're gonna gaslight all of us. Stop calling Black Rob. God damn it.
Oh goodness me. Next one from a woman who's 25, and she says, not really a dilemma, but what should you do if you have friends that you really, really appreciate, but they purposely distance themselves from you for shallow reasons? I have female friends that I love dearly and I have known them since school, but they said we can't be close anymore because I've had a glow up, become good looking, and now they think I'm attractive. It's difficult to find new friends as an adult. What should I do?
Don't just remove yourself. They've shown themselves. Remove yourself from their friendships.
Yeah, simple, isn't it?
100%. How could he
It's
after
a female,
that to you,
female friend,
and you
you know?
still want to basically keep them close? Oh,
Yeah,
very
it's sad.
simple.
It's sad.
Find new friends.
Yeah, man. Who are on your levels? Let me not say that. No, but at least people who won't feel threatened.
They don't need
just
to be
by
on
your
a level. You know how many?
Yeah, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your friend's hearts are black. Nasty.
Yes, exactly.
Nasty.
Next one from a gentleman who's 23. He said, my mother got a BBL for her 50th birthday and my friends keep teasing me for it. I tell them I don't like it, but they keep doing it and it's starting to hurt my feelings. It's only my black friends that do this, but my white friends know and they don't care about it. Should I drop my black friends out because they're getting really annoying and I've told them countless times to stop and never stop making... I've told them countless times to stop and never stop making jokes. I'm pro-black and I don't want to drop out my black friends for white people, but ultimately, if they're being a nuisance to my life, I should drop them out, no?
How old is this person?
23. It's just like the last bloody head.
You see the type of conversations that these young people are having. What you doing at 29 having conversations with these people?
23.
Same difference. Look at that Dalaba.
Yeah. Diabolical, man.
Boy, oh boy. Surely this is not the younger generation. Surely.
It's a damn shame. But yeah, man. So any words of... Is there any relevance? Do you feel like the mum maybe is to blame for getting the BBL?
You're gonna get ribbed. If they're black, you should understand you're gonna get ribbed. That's part and parcel. The fact that they're talking about your mum like that is crazy in the first place.
Maybe the BBL is like big, isn't it?
And bulbous.
Yeah, so when they come to the house,
Bulbous butt.
they just see it. It's just knocking things over. Why are they doing this to themselves, man?
I guess maybe grab a sense of humor in it. Or, as you said, your feelings are hurt, you can't handle it, drop them out. Stop inviting them to your house. Cut off communication with them because your feelings are the most important thing. It's the most important thing. That's the thing that's never going to leave you. It's gonna.
Yo, this chat as well. These are crazy. Life of Budge again. He said, "Send us pictures."
Was he just talking about he's been to bare church conferences? Oh my God, it's a juxtaposition.
He's a terrorist. And Maggie's on one today, you know. Yo, Maggie, my good sister, what's going on, man? She said these dilemmas
Friday.
is giving misogyny.
It's Friday. I saw there was a full moon yesterday.
Oh goodness. She said we need new writers. Come on, man. Stop giving. Anyway, let me not say anything.
And the thing is, these dilemmas come in on Friday because you guys think that G is going to be here to entertain his nonsense.
Yeah.
Lucky I wasn't reading them.
Our last one is from a gentleman, young gentleman, he's 21. He said, I went to my uncle's wedding with my girlfriend and I thought it was romantic that we went together. It was a coincidence that my girlfriend's birthday was on the same day as the wedding. But her being the selfless, amazing woman she is, she decided to go on her birthday. What? Okay, she decided to go on the wedding, to the wedding on her birthday. Anyway, the wedding was amazing. And to make the day even better, I proposed to her there. And she said, yes. Amazing. Congratulations, my friend. Come to find out, she actually doesn't want to get married and is giving me the silent treatment because she feels my proposal was rubbish and she didn't like it being at my uncle's wedding. I don't understand the wahala or confusion, to be honest. I'm telling her she's bugging and I want to rekindle things. What's the best way of getting things back on track?
Get your head straight because that's somebody else's celebration, right?
Yeah, man.
And it was a birthday. And she said, all right, cool. I'll sacrifice birthday celebrations to come to this stupid wedding with you, right? You've decided to get on the floor. While everybody else has celebrated that person's thing to say, will you marry me? Brother, get your head straight.
Yeah, man. You need to fix up, man.
How old is he?
He's 21, you know.
Look at this. Look at this.
This is why you're giving these 29-year-old women hope that you guys will be like this. This is ridiculous. Why you want to get married at that age? To be fair, he might go Potter's house, innit? And you know they like to do things early, innit? So
you're speaking of Potter's house as you knew it.
Or was it changed?
I don't know if there's a Potter's house anymore. I'm not saying there isn't, but you've spoke with authority there.
True indeed.
And I don't think you should.
For real, I take it back. So I take it back. There might not be one. But TD Jakes is still out here. That's Potter's house. You know what I'm saying? He's like one of the main known Potter's house
So
people.
when you said Potter's house, you were talking about TD Jakes' church?
Absolutely not.
I thought you were talking about the church in Belfast. What,
Yes.
Linton?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one.
Yes.
I don't know if it's there anymore. Why would it still be in that small building if it is that they've been prosperous?
Which building are you talking about? You know
The building that you're talking about.
That's a big one. They moved to the bingo.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, they moved to the bingo.
How recently was that?
Some years back. But I'm now remembering at some point last year, I was walking by in it and I saw some of them out there. Yeah, I think at some point last year. Yeah, so I think they're still about, man.
That place is being gentrified a bit, you know. I don't know if it's still there. Maybe a cinema or something.
To be fair, you never know. Yo, churches are being held in cinemas too, Brent. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't know that, you know. That's what
But this is why I wasn't, when he mentioned how many churches existed, I was...
Brent just
Hello?
checking something.
Hello, my name is Molly. I'm calling from the website My Job Quote.
Yes.
We're just calling to see how you're getting on with the job you've listed about the air conditioning.
All right. Can I call you back in like 15 minutes, please?
Yeah, we were just checking if the job was still open or if you wanted us to close it.
Can you close it, please? It's not open
No
anymore.
problem.
Yeah. Thank
No
you.
problem then. Thanks for your time.
Bye. I swear I closed that time ago though.
That's what they do, man. Yes. But finance says, if you want to get married, why does it matter how or where? Is that a topic of the
As
day
in
for
to
another
get
day?
proposed to?
I think so.
The
Yeah.
proposals are very different. The where you get married, okay, but getting proposed to? Nah, mate. You can't do that at somebody else's wedding. That's not what women want.
Yeah. How do you know? Jillian just said, my church is in the cinema.
Why did you laugh?
At what?
Do you understand how
was laughing at-
comfortable them cinema seats are? And they already have the setup, the infrastructure
100%.
to have pure entertainment.
Oh, man. Even I wouldn't say that. Entertainment, man. At church.
Your church,
Is that right?
You didn't used to be entertaining?
Yes,
If
but
your church is entertaining, you're in the wrong place.
this is true. I was entertained.
Yes,
But more
are
than
you not entertained?
I was blessed.
But this is it goes hand in hand.
Okay, I hear you. Would it be wrong though if I turned up to your church that's based in a cinema with popcorn? Honest question. Like
It's not an honest question. What? You're so stupid. Because what he's doing, you see what he's doing? You see what he's doing? Look. He's saying, right? The night before, you watch Sinners. The popcorn stand was open, right? Mm-hmm. The day after, you come in, the same guy is behind the desk. And he serves you the popcorn, but it's 10% discount. This is crazy. It would be nice if they allowed children to buy popcorn.
That's what I'm saying.
Keep them entertained, innit?
Exactly. So where will Sunday school be then? There ain't no Sunday school.
They're different. Oh, you're saying that every single church has Sunday school?
Yeah, as I said, I was thinking, that's.
I
obviously
reckon
not.
that some of these churches would probably hire out a room at the side. Because it's not just like theatre rooms that they have other rooms as well, innit? So maybe it's part of that. That's if they have a Sunday school. Some of them don't have Sunday schools. But I reckon that like a church in the cinema is wavy, man.
Yeah, too.
Just pay the higher fees and whatnot, and
Do
you go in.
do you think they'll always utilize the screen?
Yeah, I've been to a church in a theatre, in a cinema.
Did they utilize the screen?
Yeah, they did, to have the words singing in it.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
why are you going like it's weird?
No, because I
You
didn't
prefer
know.
it just in a hall, innit?
But to be fair, it makes sense though. Like I guess being in a cinema would be better than being in the hall.
Of course it would. The comfort levels are different.
That's
The
true.
viewing angles, complete. Come on,
The sound.
pristine.
Yeah.
That's the best place to basically have a church. If it is that you were going to basically build your own church, you would look to say, I want that auditorium to be like a cinema.
And no one will see you sleeping.
Because you're thinking the lights are just gone. No, the lights are on. It's to keep everybody attentive. Because them seats are comfortable.
That's what I'm saying.
And then you have the air conditioning.
It'll be too much air conditioning. And you know that it's going to finish at a certain time.
Do they preach in your conferences? You know, when you go to
100%.
Chicago. Like, what type of preaching is it? Is it called preaching?
I was just going to say that. Teaching.
Do you take notes and stuff?
Yeah, mentally.
Ah.
In my heart.
You write it on tablets of your heart.
That's right.
Okay. How long is it?
It depends. But the minister, like whenever he's talking to the people,
Time just
you know, no, I'm saying like it's for a long time. So if you type in on YouTube, guys,
No.
I would advise you type in Mr. Louis Farrakhan, Savior's Day. That's it. Then you would see, for example, 3 hours. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I mean? So that's how it is, man. So yeah, but it's just so much information, so much necessary and relevant information.
Fair question. Do you think, based on your observation, because you've been on both camps, that the people in the pews in church hold up their pastor or pastors with the same type of reverence that the people in the chairs in the NOI services hold up Farrakhan?
I think it'll be similar. I think
Serious?
I think so, because in church people really love their
Do
pastors.
people
innit?
take pictures with the pastors afterwards?
No, you see them every week, innit? Why would you?
But they take pictures with Louis Farrakhan.
Because he's not speaking every week like he used to.
But do people take pictures of visiting pastors in church?
I think they might do. You might like imagine Creflo Dollar in his heyday came to your church. You might be like, oh, Creflo came. Sir, thank you for your amazing message. Do you mind me getting a picture of my grandmother
Man
loves you?
used Creflo Dollar, you know.
Yeah, because he was a star. He was a star.
Wasn't Creflo Dollar a fraud?
No, I mean, depending on what you believe in it, but he was a prosperity teacher, preacher.
Didn't
I
he
believe-
change his
yeah,
message
I heard
to
he
now,
changed.
and then he apologized for being a prosperity teacher?
I heard that.
He started focusing on more grace.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, but he was still like one of the most known preachers out there. Remember, he was in that Welcome to Atlanta video, Ludacris video. You know what I'm saying? Like this guy was fully like out there, like known. So if you saw him, yeah, you probably want to take a picture of him. But the minister is different though. Like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of these preachers, people know them in different churches, for example, but the minister's message transcends Islam. It transcends all of that. Like you've got people, funny enough, Jason Whitlock, I heard him basically talking about the minister. Was it recently? I can't remember. But basically saying, obviously he's a Christian, so he said that he will never join the nation or whatever. But even back then, but there was no one who spoke to Black America like the minister. So whether you was a Christian, atheist, Buddhist, or whatever, but you was Black, you saw the minister, and he said himself he'd been to countless Savior's Day. He went to Million Man March. You know what I'm saying? Like his message transcends religion. It's about the people. And I don't think a lot of pastors' messages do that. So I don't think they necessarily have the audience that the minister does. I don't know of any pastor, any Black man, any man who can call 1 million Black men and 2 million show up. It's just not happening. You know what I'm saying? So it's completely different. So if you happen to see the minister, you might want to take a picture. Of course, why not?
The thing with me, with some of these pastors, and also the same with Louis Farrakhan, right?
Yeah.
Is it Louis or Louis?
Louis.
I don't know if I call him Louis.
I mean, that would be disrespectful, isn't it?
Is it? They can't disrespect the
Absolutely not.
minister.
Absolutely not.
Would you go to fisticuffs if I disrespect him?
With you? Of course not. Why would I do that? The minister doesn't need us to. Otherwise, Vlad would be, you know what I'm saying? But Vlad is still here. So, you know what I mean? We didn't need to do anything.
He's got his.
He's
got
got
his
what?
army.
Who? Vlad? Please.
So everything's been allowed this time.
About what?
Yeah. Certain people in positions of influence and power.
They might have, yeah, certainly. They can shut down certain Black rappers. But when it comes to the physicality of stuff,
Yeah.
when it gets down to certain things,
Fisticuffs.
what are they going to do?
They're trained also, innit?
In what?
All of the people who are the minister's bodyguards.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. 100%.
And he's got shooters too. Off the books though.
I never said any of that. Can't confirm any of that.
Fair.
In fact, I'll even deny it because the nation is not about violence.
My problem with these pastors in the church and also in Islam, not just Louis Farrakhan, but also the ones that you look to prop up. There's a few of them. Is that like you could see people worshiping them, and it's just you shouldn't be doing that.
It's funny you say that because Brother Abdul Hakim Muhammad, yeah, who is the head of the nation in Europe basically, yeah. Google him, guys. He speaks to the people every Sunday from 11. And he basically said...
To what?
What do you mean, to what?
From 11 to what?
Oh, sorry, from 11 to 1. From 11 to 1.
Where is it, online?
Yeah, online, Zoom, you can just log in
When was
by
the last time you
Zoom. Probably maybe a few weeks ago. Yeah, but I like to be there in person, so that's different. But anyway.
As in, is he in Europe?
Yeah, in London, in Brixton.
Oh,
yeah,
in Brixton?
Yeah.
Where in
So
Brixton?
people, you're welcome to come down, man.
Can you invite me to one?
Of course I could. Of course.
What do I wear?
Whatever you want to wear. Come as you are, man. You know how it is. God welcomes us all, man.
Do you have a specific seat that you always get?
No.
It's not reserved.
What?
It's not reserved for you.
Where have you gone? When you go to your cinema church, is your chair reserved?
Yes.
Serious?
I'm special.
I hear it, man.
So-
So we're all special in the eyes of God, man. So you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
get any
yeah.
chair. Every chair is special.
I don't want to attend the cinema church.
Anyway, what I was trying to say to
I
you,
don't know why I
Brent,
said a cinema church. Sorry, didn't just.
all I was trying to say to you, Brent, is this: is that you mentioned the whole thing about worship. There was a talk that he was given, and he said, it's not about worship. It's just that we love the minister. You know what I'm saying? Don't insult us by saying we worship him. We know that our worship is reserved for God alone. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just that we love the minister. We recognize what he's done for the people and the sacrifices that he's taken to make sure that his people are edified. You know what I'm saying? And
They
equipped
would jump
for
in
the
front
fight
of a
for
bullet
liberation.
for him.
You jump in front of a bullet for Trump. Do you get what I'm saying? People would.
Did you say you?
Not you, but you know what I'm trying to say. People would. 100%
Why
for
you
Trump.
talking about Trump? I know that Trump is idolized.
Because you're making it seem as though, this is
Name a
strange.
pastor.
I don't. This is what I'm saying to you.
So when I've just said that he,
Yeah.
the same guy who said that he doesn't worship this, that, and next,
Yeah.
he would jump in front of a bullet for him.
I'd never
Would
said.
you-
I never said.
Would you jump in front of a bullet for?
This guy. We're taught to love God.
Would you?
I would jump in front of a bullet for my family.
You
For my
you're
children.
dodging. You could just say no, you know. You could just say no.
I wouldn't jump in front of a bullet for anybody.
So no, say no.
Why do you want me to say no though? Why?
You just said you would jump in front of a bullet for your family. I
Yes.
understand that. Would you jump in front of a bullet for Louis Farrakhan? This is crazy.
Because you're asking questions
This
that doesn't even
pause
make
is
no
crazy.
sense.
You see this white rub? This is crazy.
I've said already. I wouldn't jump in front of a bullet for
I will
anybody.
say it for you. I wouldn't jump in front of a bullet for a pastor.
Okay, fine.
I wouldn't jump in front of a bullet for Louis Farrakhan.
I made it clear. I wouldn't jump in front of a bullet for anybody. You know what I'm
But
saying?
you wouldn't say you wouldn't jump in front of a bullet for Louis Farrakhan.
I wouldn't for any. I said anybody.
Say Louis
Anybody.
Farrakhan. Say
Anybody.
Louis Farrakhan.
Why?
Because I'm asking about Louis Farrakhan.
I'm talking
Would
about
you jump in front of a bullet
anybody.
for Louis Farrakhan?
Is he a buddy?
Would you jump in front of
Anybody.
Would you jump in
This
front
is
of a
so
bullet
silly.
for Louis Farrakhan? Say yes or no.
This is so.
Yes
silly.
or no.
Why? I don't understand.
Yes
Why?
or no.
Why police my language?
Would you jump in front of a bullet for your daughter?
Why police my language? I said
Would
anybody.
you jump in front of a bullet for your daughter?
Anybody except my daughter.
Would you jump in front of a bullet for your daughter?
Yes.
See how easy it was?
That's different though.
Would you jump in front of a bullet for Louis Farrakhan?
You're so
God damn
silly.
it!
You're so silly.
You're broken.
I'm not
You're
feeding
broken.
into this. I'm not
Let
feeding
me
into
do for
it.
you. No. No.
This is so
No, I
silly.
would not.
All right, put it this way. I wouldn't, obviously.
There we
right?
go.
No.
Sensation.
I just don't like feeding into,
It's
into
done.
the
You've done it.
nonsense.
You've done it.
No, I
You've
just
gotten it.
want to say something. But I don't know why people would think people would do that necessarily. I think people who are trained to do that, for example, in a nation, and that's their role, then of course. But the average person wouldn't, because we're taught again, God, family, then the mission. You know what I'm saying? That's the order. God is your priority, then your family is. Every man who is the head of his family is taught to put his life, let me not say put his life on the line for, but defend his family. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's basically what it is.
How come he's too funny? I didn't ask him about his wife. He would have said no for his wife. Wait a minute.
I do it for my family.
Yes,
Of course
he
I
would say
would.
yes for his wife.
For my family.
Yeah. Just people type silly stuff. Don't worry.
Yeah, but you're entertaining it though. and I told you I gotta go.
To see that.
Time.
Of course you would. I wouldn't even
find
ask
out
that because it's
serious.
a given.
Do you know what's funny? Yeah. You know what's funny is, yeah. You know, I'm going to.
I
make
can't
you
wait
guys-
to have a family so you can basically do the same thing to me.
But obviously, you know what? I'm glad that you guys obviously see the. I mean, this is black people, man. We see the humor in these things, but obviously, and it's necessary. But obviously, I do like to stress the serious side of it because this is where the praise goes to the nation because they're really putting in work for the liberation of our people. I know there are other organizations doing the same thing as well, but this is why I do mention it.
You could get another wife, but not only one minister. That's your bar, innit?
That's what TC says.
That's your bar, though.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, whenever he say they invite you to you, like leave it, say I could get one of a wife.
That's different, though, isn't it? It's different. Look at the guy in the dilemma. He's leaving right now.
Let's not label this time.
Exactly. Anyway, guys, I'm glad you guys find this funny. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you guys find this funny.
And this is why I advocate because when we
go.
find out information about TC, we'll put it here.
What? No. Why?
No.
All right. This is
I
what
thought I was trying to help you out.
This is what makes it, I guess, fun because all of them feel safe.
But you're saying the same thing.
What do you mean?
You're saying the same thing. You're saying they could run them out because we can't see them.
Yeah, that's fine.
But when it is, we see them. We
No, we wouldn't.
And we find no information.
No, I would never.
Don't worry, I'm there. I'll do it.
Nope, I will never do
I'll do it.
Nope,
Don't be talking about Emmanuel like that.
No.
And think that I'm fine with that.
None of them have chosen to come on the platform, a public
To be honest, it's
platform.
fine for you to rub out White Rob though.
He came on the
You're changing his name and nonsense.
No, but obviously we're all brothers in this. So
it's all banter now.
he needs to be able to take the banter, of course.
Oh wow.
He's not soft. You know what I'm saying? So obviously he can take it.
Yeah.
Everyone throws it around.
Take it.
No, definitely not that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we got a reaction to talk about. I need to go, man.
Boxing.
Yes.
Boxing. Yeah, I have an issue with people doing the most in the chat.
Hold on.
Wait, let me finish.
What?
I have an issue with people doing the most in the chat, and then when it is that they're in real life, they're completely different. I have an issue with that. You understand? So I will always have an issue with that.
That's everybody.
Keep the same energy.
Same energy. It never will be. It never will be.
Go on.
That's how it is. Black Rob, what are you referring to?
White Rob.
Pardon me. White Robert. He said, E-man say it to my face. I have. What the hell did you say to my face?
Yeah, what is
What are you starting now?
What is he starting?
Please.
This is
Please.
metal.
Please. I'll start. Anyway. I never said that. You know what I'm saying? You know. Anyway, let me get to the reaction. We're talking about boxing. Before we get to the boxing quickly, some fixtures. Saturday, Chelsea's going to be playing Everton. Brighton's taking on West Ham. Southampton versus Fulham. Newcastle versus Ipswich. Wolves versus Leicester. And there's an FA Cup semi-final as well, man. On Saturday, Crystal Palace is taking on Aston Villa. On the Sunday, Bournemouth is going to be taking on Manchester United. Big game on the Sunday as well. Liverpool, the champions, are going to be taking on Tottenham Hotspurs.
Congratulations to Liverpool. Hold up. Champions indeed. Well deserved. Go on.
And also there's an FA Cup semi-final on the Sunday as well, and that's Nottingham Forest versus Man City. Oh man. All right, guys, I gotta go, but we're gonna talk about this boxing quickly. This is gonna be a big weekend.
It is.
I'm telling you, man. This is probably the biggest fight in British boxing.
It is.
For a long time. Obviously, we know this is between Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. They're gonna be fighting at, I guess, middleweight. And we know that they're living off the legacy of their fathers. Their fathers were legends. For those of you who don't know, go back and watch the 2 fights that their fathers had. I've always been Team Eubank, right? And I know it's one of those polarizing things, isn't it? You're either one or the other. But I think both camps appreciate the determination, the will, the skill, the discipline of either fighter. You know what I'm saying? But it's more so, I guess, whoever you gravitate towards kind of speaks to your personality and the things you like in life, innit?
Both of them go with white women?
Yeah. It was a different time, innit? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, so as you guys know, I like to defend people I like, innit? I'm like that, especially when they're black, right? Big up Eubank. Big up the legendary Nigel Benn.
Big up Brent.
Huh? What you say? Anyway, legendary boxers, man. Some of the best boxers in British history. and just boxing history, period. I would say some of the most entertaining fights. The first fight, for those who don't know, shall I do a spoiler? To be fair, even if you do know the results, check out the fight anyway. Eubank won the first fight. Nigel Benn and Eubank in the second one was a draw, right? And so people are seeing this as Eubank versus Benn 3. They're saying this is a continuation of the legacy of their fathers. Now, I don't want to discount what these guys are doing, because these guys, for anyone to step into the ring as professionals, it takes a lot. The discipline leading up to the fight, but also to get punched up by a guy that doesn't give a damn about your welfare, just wants to finish you, do whatever's necessary, is something, you know what I mean? And Eubank Jr., he's had a good career. He's made a lot of money, far more than people who are typically at his skill level. He has always fallen short when it's come to championships. You know what I mean? He lost to George Groves. He lost to Billy Joe Saunders. That fight frustrated me. Anyway, he beat James DeGale, though. That was a DeGale that was definitely over the hill. DeGale was a former world champion. Sick fight he had with Baddy Jack. He lost to George Groves as well. That's just to show you how good George Groves was, even though he lost to Fudge in the second one. But, sorry, he lost to Fudge in what was the first one? Was it a draw? Did they give that to Fudge? But that first fight against Fudge, definitely they robbed him by stopping that fight. Anyway, I digress. Just to mention that Eubank and Connor, they're having a big bust up on Saturday. You can watch it, The Zone, Sky Sports or whatever, but it's going to be a big fight. They genuinely dislike each other. Genuinely. The press conference that happened yesterday, I was watching it live as well, as I was about my business. And the undercard is good as well. The undercard is really good as well, man. It's put on by Ring Magazine, which is affiliated with Turkey Al Sheikh. So basically they're doing it. So it's similar to a Riyadh season card. It's a great card. Some fights, one in particular, I would say doesn't need to be there at all. I don't know who the hell wanted to see that fight. But hearing Lyndon Arthur talk made me feel like, wait a minute, you're talking quite spicy. No disrespect to Lyndon Arthur, I do like him. But I just didn't know why there was some animosity towards Anthony Yard. Anthony Yard, to me, has really held himself in such high regard. Professional, just seems like a good, down-to-earth guy. I really like Anthony Yard. And he was going through a lot in the first fight. And split decision, man. And Lyndon Arthur won. He was shocked. People said, yo, he won. Even though you didn't feel like he won, but I feel like because he was going through a lot, it was during COVID times, nobody was in the arena watching the fight. And he lost 4 family members, man, during COVID. One of them was actually his father as well. So he was going through a lot. But he's a professional. So he thought, you know what, I'm still going to go ahead with the fight. So during the fight, I don't think he was really aware of how it was slipping away from him. And Lyndon Arthur, his main attribute probably is his jab in it. And he was consistent with it the whole fight. And that's pretty much what made him win the fight. When they had the rematch, though, Anthony Yard knew what was at stake. He said, I ain't letting this guy come in here and have a chance with me. And long story short, Anthony Yard got him out of there. And I think it was 4 or 5 rounds. Got him out of there ASAP. So I don't see the need for this third fight. But hearing Lyndon Arthur kind of talk, kind of spicy, like, you know what I mean? It just made me feel like, wait a minute, there's some sort of bad blood there for some reason. Even though Anthony Yard has been respectful to him. So anyway, it just makes for a good fight, long story short. So I'm looking forward to that. I think Anthony Yard wins by knockout, if I'm being honest with you.
Did you call the Conor Ben and...
I will do.
Okay.
I will do. Liam Smith is fighting Aaron McKenna. McKenna's basically on the come up middleweight. Liam Smith, to be honest with you, seems like he's on his way out. You know what I mean? He lost his last fight to Eubank Jr., I believe it was, by stoppage. He was injured in that fight. He's had injuries in his career. I feel like this is just a good fight, a good card for him to be on, make some money, and basically lead the sport. Big up his brother, though, Callum Smith. In the last Riyadh card, he beat Joshua Buatsi. I thought Callum Smith was done. I'll be honest with you. But that fight was insane. Insane. So big up Callum Smith, man. The whole Smith family, 4 brothers, all got into boxing, all champions. All champions. You know what I'm saying?
Legacy.
2 of them world champions, 2 of them like British champions, but all of them solid, right? So big up them. Chris Billiam Smith, CBS, who beat Riakporhe and who lost to, what's his name? Is it Zudo? Not Zudo. I can't remember his name. Damn it. Pardon me, sorry guys. He lost the belt in the last fight anyway at cruiserweight. CBS is one of those fighters. Nice, respectful guy. And he's one of those guys, and I always hear commentators talking about this. He's one of those guys that isn't particularly the most talented and skillful, but the work, the determination he puts in has given him results. You know what I'm saying? He beat Riakpo. He beat Okoli. You know what I'm saying? He defended his world championship belt. So, he's going to be fighting against Brandon Glanton. Glanton was really talking reckless in that press conference. Talking reckless. Reckless. Really, for real, right? And, it's going to be an interesting fight. Vidal Riley. Big up Vidal Riley. He's been on No Behavior before. He's come here before. Yeah. Big up Vidal. I've been kind of following his career for a while as well. I remember him doing a lot of training back in Mayweather's gym in America. Then he came here. He's been training. I think he was training KSI. He's been training a few people. He's got a lot of followers. He's really merging the whole YouTube misfit thing with his real profession. Again, he's a professional. He's doing that thing there, getting the fan base up, but he's a real boxer. So don't get it confused, guys. And he's going to be fighting Clark. Now, Clark lost his last fight. He's only lost. He's a good fighter. This will be a good fight. Clark wants to bounce back. He needs to bounce back. And even during the press conference, Clark was kind of talking reckless with Brandon Glanton, the same guy who's going to be fighting CBS. So that's going to be, again, these are 5 solid fights. You know what I'm saying? So this is scheduled for Saturday, tomorrow, 26. It's going to be at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's going to be packed. I believe Vidal Riley should come through. I think Liam Smith might be on the tail end of his career. This would be good for McKenna. But I think the experience of Liam Smith, I'm not too sure how bad his injuries are. If his injuries are as bad as they presented themselves in the fight against Eubank, then he's probably losing this. I think CBS might do it. Anthony Yard, I believe he's going to do that comfortably. I believe he needs to as well, so I think that's going to be in his mind. And Eubank and Conor Benn. I've said leading up to this fight, I think Conor Benn's going to do it. And the reason is because he's so aggressive, man. He's so damn aggressive. And respect to Eubank. I really do like Eubank Jr., but he's not as skilled as his dad. And we've seen him get hit with a big shot. Prior to his fight with Liam Smith, we all thought he's got an amazing chin. And he still does, I believe, anyway. But the way we saw him get hit in that first fight with Liam Smith and get dropped and and lose via stoppage makes you start to think he might be susceptible, especially because of the weight cut. That's the main thing here. If this was at 160 or like proper like 168 or whatever, and there was no because it is at 160, but there was no rehydration clause, then I think it's going to be much more in favor of Eubank. But I think Conor has so much to prove. And I don't know, I just feel like he might just clip Eubank at some point. You know what I'm saying? Early in the fight. But I don't know. I really want Eubank Jr. to win. I really want him to win. But Conor's just so aggressive, so what's the word? Explosive. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I don't know. But the same, you know what? If I'm putting money on it, it's honestly, I just keep going back and forth. I thought Eubank, you know what? I'm saying Eubank. I'm going Eubank. I think Eubank knows what's at stake, because if Eubank loses, it's pretty much retirement talks. If Conor loses, that's okay. That's okay. He's got his whole career ahead of him. He's only, 27 or 29. Eubank's 35. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much how I see it. But I'm going Eubank. I think it's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be some back and forths, man, where it's not going to look good for Eubank, especially early. But I think if Eubank can weather that aggression, really use his size and really just hold him and control him like he did against Liam Smith. Again, remember that second fight, I came in there saying, no disrespect to Andre Ward, but he fought in that sort of way. It might have been because he had, what's my man's name? Crawford's coach. in his corner. What's his name? Oh man, someone tell me please in the chat. But he just utilized his jab. He's just so disciplined. Go in there, punch, 1-2, hold. Just mess up the momentum of Liam Smith. If he can do that to Conor and really control that aggression, it's going to be an easy fight for Eubank. That's what I'm saying. So I think, you know what? I have faith in Eubank. I love the Eubank family. Big up Eubank. I think he's going to win. Might even stop Conor in round 11. I'm going Eubank, man.
All right.
What are you saying, man?
I'm going Conor. Just
Okay.
for the shits and gigs.
Okay, I'm seeing
yeah.
Bo Mack. Thank you guys, Bo Mack. That's the legendary trainer of Crawford. Thank you guys. It's gonna be tough, man. Again, initially, all up to the fight, I was saying Conor, like within 6 rounds. Yeah, it might even be earlier than that because I feel like his aggression and his wild swinging and everything.
Hey guys,
Eubank might become too comfortable, but I think Eubank understands what's at stake here. He really does. So I think Eubank's going to come prepared. He's going to know the tactics of Conor. And hopefully the weight doesn't affect him too much. The weight cut. And I think Eubank's going to win. He's going to win.
Hey, morning guys.
Good morning, my good friend Coffee. How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm fine.
Good.
Yeah, on this match tomorrow, I want Eubank to win. But this rehydration thing, I think it's a bad idea, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think he's going to be weak in the fight. I just have this feeling that because he's naturally a bigger man than Conor Benn, isn't it?
Yeah.
So to go down, I think he's had to slightly go down in weight, and then he can't gain any more weight after the weigh-in.
Yeah.
So he's going to be weak, man. And I just feel that he won't have the power to take out Conor Benn. So I really want the Eubank to win, but this I kind of feel why his dad's a bit annoyed with him because it's like, why are you doing this fight with this rehydration clause and everything? And to me, it doesn't make sense. Why don't you just make Conor come up in weight? You're the slightly bigger star. Make Conor come up in weight. Why are you going down in the weight? That's why I think it's a bad idea, man. I've had this feeling for a while.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good idea. I hope he wins, but
yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from, man. Like that's the main thing for me as well. The weight cut, like, and I think that the weight cut was the reason why he lost in the way he did to Liam Smith. Because remember he was preparing for the Ben fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's not good. I feel like the weight cut isn't as aggressive as the first time when they first had that initial fight. But like you said, the rehydration clause and everything is going to make it a bit tough, man. But I think Eubank's had a lot of time to prepare, and he's a professional, man, and he knows what's at stake. I really don't want this to be a story of Eubank losing, getting knocked out, his dad saying "I told you so." You know what I mean? Like I really don't want that. I really don't.
Same, but his dad, obviously his dad's a former world champion. He's a very experienced man, and he knows that the risks his son is taking.
Yeah, 100%.
If your own father's like, I can't condone this. I'm just like, boy, why don't you listen to your dad? I know you might not want to always follow him, but he might have some good experience, knowledge in telling you this is not a smart fight. Yeah. Me personally, if I was Chris Eubank, I just made Conor Benn come up in weight.
Yeah.
Just come up in weight, mate. I do not understand why I'm coming down to your weight.
You're right. Especially as you're talking about you can do something to me. Come up to me then.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You're right.
Exactly.
You're 100% right.
It is what it is. But I'm watching the fight with my mates tomorrow. I hope Eubank wins, but we'll see.
I'm sure we'll talk about this next week, man.
I'll be there. I'll call in on Monday. But quickly, guys.
Yes.
Everyone go and watch that film Sinners. It's very good. And I think there's got themes in it that you enjoy, Brent will enjoy. So yeah, if you have a chance, try and check out that film. But yeah, everyone have a good weekend.
Thank you, man. Have a good weekend.
Right, take care. Bye.
All right, Brent, we need to wrap up, but what's this on the screen?
My good brother Sace with the Prince of Wales.
Okay.
He's a mentoring organisation that's founded in 2016 to really meet the needs of young people. We really prioritise alternative education, supporting young people, but using their aspirations and linking their passions to careers to create real, visible, viable pathways where they can experience success. And that's the key thing for us. And it's really about replacing the youth services that have been depleted in this area And it's really important for young people to experience joy, happiness, and through play. And that mentorship and youth work, using informal education as a driver to allow young people to experience success is important. But also, we really empower youth voice. So the young people of the area let us know what they need. So whether it's arts and crafts, or they want to do podcasting, or they want to go to our local football pitch, we've got options for these young people. And we want them to understand that these informed decisions that they're making, they have to be a part of that. And our vision really is to reframe education, to reclaim the block for young people and those that are displaced in communities such as this. For us, it's about more advocacy, actually creating sustainable communities, and really showcasing innovation. That's what we've done. We're very innovative. And our partnerships power mentality. They power community.
Right, message brought by Kensington Palace. If anybody is to sit and sup with the Prince, you want it to be Sace.
True indeed.
100%. 120%.
For real.
People go over to his page, show some support.
Yeah.
Because if it isn't benefiting the community, he's the first person to
100%
blast him. 100%. So understand, he's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Until.
Yes. That's it.
Until they're not.
There you go.
Until they're not. But go on, support, please. Go on, love it, share, and leave some fantastic comments in the comment section. Thank you very much.
100%, man.
Big up Sace all the mother effing time.
All the time, man. All the
mother effing time. Yes. I really believe in what he's doing over there at Mentivity, man. I really, really believe in it.
100%, man.
All right, getting to wrap up.
Let's do it. All right, beautiful people. It's been a great show. I should have been out of here 35 minutes ago, but you guys dragged
stayed for you?
me. Yes, I did indeed. But today we spoke about reform, man, and how they've been criticized for recruiting candidates with offensive posts, man, in their history. Talking about Islamophobia, or rather being Islamophobic, and things of that nature. We also spoke about the UK edging towards a youth visa deal with the EU. And also the MPs who have called for urgent action over toxic male influences. We spoke about Trump saying that Russia could have pretty much done far more than it's doing. So be thankful, guys. They're making a pretty big concession. But also mentioned how he was kind of upset with Putin yesterday for their recent bombing in Kiev. Also, we spoke about China telling Trump, listen, if you want trade talks, legit trade talks, then cancel the tariffs first. You know what I'm saying? Show that, and then let's sit at the table. We also spoke about the student who was killed and 3 injured in a stabbing at a French private school. Super sad news, man. We spoke about South Africa and how they had a whole situation with their finance minister who planned the VAT hike, right? But that plan's been destroyed, slashed. And we also spoke about M23 and the Congolese government basically coming to an agreement to halt the fighting. We spoke also about Dr. Umar giving a message of peace to Shannon Sharp. We spoke about Lord Jamar and Rizza and their response to Vlad TV's apology to the Minister Farrakhan. And we also spoke about Conor Ben and Eubank. It's going to be a great fight, guys. I need to go. Have a blessed weekend. Love you all. Stay black. Stay beautiful. Peace.